Okay, we are live. Hello everybody. My name is Aiden. Welcome
Hey
to my
everyone, this is
live stream. Yeah. So,
Hey everyone.
just get all this set up. Yeah. So, first things first. 1,000 subscribers. That's pretty big deal. Uh, yeah, kind of kind of don't know what to say, to be honest. Uh, hang on, trying to pull up the stream on my phone so I could see the chat. Also, I hope like the audio quality for this stream is a lot better than the last time, cause well, uh, I got a friend of mine, Val, who's a streamer, who helped me with my audio quality. Alright, I got the live chat up. Right. And she basically helped me set up a audio to hopefully get rid of all the echoes and stuff that the last two streams had. I even bought a new headphone. Not headphones, earpiece. Oh, hi, to be loved. Yeah, audio is good. Sweet. Yeah. Looks like we are good. So don't know how many people will be here. Don't know how many people will be new. These streams are basically like, how do I even explain it? They are kind of look back streams on some of my videos. Give you some background, director's commentary. Also, just a place for me to chill and get some thoughts out of my head. One like 1,000 subs. Jesus Christ, 1,000 subs. Oh, this last video that came up, the Out of Singapore documentary. This one, oh, it's doing big points number. Yeah. So anyway, for the streams, what's gonna happen is I'll just go through the videos and give director's commentary. I think today's stream I'll try to put it at 2 hours. I want to go through all 3 videos in my self-help series. Uh, uh, and just like talk about the making of what happened behind the scene and everything. They're quite long, so I usually like will pause in between the videos, but this time I think I'll just have it on low volume and I'll just talk over it like a actual proper director's commentary. And yes, that's Limbus Company. Shh, nobody talk about Limbus Company. Otherwise, I won't stop. To be loved. Val is short for Val. Oh yeah, Val is a streamer. Her name is Val HCR on Twitch. VALHSIA. She streams game. She's like she's my friend all the way from like secondary school. So she has more experience streaming. So I just asked her for some setup tips. And yeah, nobody talk about Limbus Company because I just saw that. I just saw this the trailer for the new season drop. No, don't do Project Moon mention. No, I know the memes. Don't do it. It's not here, not now. Oh Jesus Christ, this isn't great. Okay, I'll just what? Let's just start the video so that nobody. Please don't put this up on the subreddit. I know people will just come in and do nonsense here. Please don't. Okay, let's just start.
Hey everyone, this is a re-upload of my previous video on the self-help movement. One of the subject of the video copyright struck me, and that's why it went down, and I have to remove all the so-called copyrighted materials, even though they were under fair
Yeah,
use.
so the
But I'm too poor to
this
afford
this
a lawyer to
original
fight
video
me,
got
so here I
copyright
am.
struck,
Anyway,
and
that's
then
what happened.
copyright
That's why I'm re-uploading the
attempted
video.
struck
Please help me
again
share it
after the
around a little bit
re-upload,
more, because the view count already
and
set to 0, and that algorithm sucks.
and then
Yeah,
I
thanks.
after that
On to
it
the
got a
video.
defamation claim. So yeah, that's why
My
it's
last few
banned in
videos
Singapore.
have been quite dark and serious, so let's lighten the mood today by talking about the self-help movement. I'm sure it'll be a quick,
The last few
simple, and
videos
not
before
at
that
all
was like
complicated.
homelessness and
It'll be
incel, and
fine.
it was
Don't look at the time
really
code. The time code can't hurt you.
really weird. No, I should really split
Recently,
it.
I've
I
met
split it
someone
at
who is a
1.2.
leader in a self-empowerment community, and they were just
I hope people aren't like put off by
interesting.
this, but yeah.
But it made me think
I
about
have
these
3
so-called
videos to go through, and they're all
self-help
very
groups and
long,
figures
so
in the self-help movement, as I will be generalizing for this video. This includes self-help gurus, spiritual leaders, life coaches, social healers, and whatever other flowery buzzword like life sharer or
yeah.
journal, etc. I thought about finding a local group to join, like Infiltrate Spy.
Okay,
but
maybe
I
not
can do it for a
1.5.
reason I
My
will
brain
detail
can't catch up
later.
to my
That's not
own
just because I'm
mouth.
lazy and poor. Well,
I'll
those
just have
too,
to
but
talk
not just
properly like a
because.
human being.
Trigger warning, we'll be talking about mental health.
Trigger
abuse,
warning for everything
suicide,
as well.
depression,
Yep.
and there's
Suicide,
a
mental
segment
abuse.
with some
Probably
weird
we'll go
flashing
through
lights
it
and loud
on
noises.
this
I'll
live
warn you
stream.
when the lights are about to come up, but it's quite late in the video, so just enjoy
So
the show
the
first.
background behind this video was that
Buckle up,
I was actually working
breath,
already on
meditate.
a
Let's get
video
started.
about
My first
video
goal
essay
was the
about
punch
self-help
within my
gurus
weight
like
class, so
Jordan
to speak.
Peterson and
I could have gone
Tate.
for the low-hanging fruit.
And I was
Jordan
aiming
Peterson's, the
for
all
people
Deepak
like
Chopras of the world. But they've been
what's
thoroughly
his name?
debunked by people far smarter than me.
Robert
Links
Kiyosaki,
below.
and
So through a couple
I
of
already started like
recommendations and
researching
randomness,
it.
I went to my local library,
But
picked out a few
halfway
selected
through
self-help authors,
researching
and
it,
spent a whole day
I
reading.
got
By the way,
a run-in with
Hun
Min Kwang's
recruiter.
recruiter,
How these self-help guys
and
works
that was
is that they are a
basically
numbers game.
how I
It's
got
an industry
dragged
that banks
into
on the idea that most
the
people are
entire
like most other people.
thing.
And
I
that most
started like
people think
shifting my
they are not
research
like most other
from
people,
Robert
or
Kiyosaki
at the very
to
least want to be like not
to
most
Hun Min
other
Kwang
people.
and Disconnect.
They don't want to be
So,
like other people, even though they
I really
are.
should explain, like
I
for
would.
people who haven't watched it, like
If you look through
Hun Min
books
Kwang is
in
the
genre, you'll realize very
main
quickly that the things in them are applicable
character
to almost
of
anyone
all my
throughout
videos.
most of a person's existence. They
and-
are what's called Barnum statements in
and
the Overton window of
it
life.
mostly
Things that can be
focus on him.
applied to a general
Kind of a
audience
rabbit
because
hole.
of how
Really
universal
dragged
they
me
seem.
into
The
the
light you
entire
see
self-help
within others
culture
is
of
within
Singapore.
you. Or the market always goes up. Really,
Yeah, I can do voices.
child-level statements that affects a majority of people.
The market always goes up. Oh, look at my voices.
If you are part of a neurotypical community, or a
JY,
general
I've
populace
been
with
to his
systemic
event.
challenges, these Barnum statements will feel
My events?
incredibly
You been to my
justified.
events?
Basically, if you're anywhere
Have I been
here
at
on
any
the journey
events?
of life, these statements will take out your G spot, so to speak, because they itch on the edge of what the general
where was
populace
I?
experience as
Right, we're talking about
extreme.
self-help.
These incredibly
movement,
basic
how
levels
I
of
got into this.
self-awareness will feel life-changing.
This video might just be me
Same
rambling,
as
to be
how rich
honest.
people will progressively assign
trying
more
out
and
this
more
format
trivial issues
is
oh no, my favorite Ferrari broke down. Now I
having a hard time catching up to my own thoughts.
Instead. Journalist Caitlin Moscatello calls this the Fleischmann effect because their window of what hardship is have shifted.
Yeah,
Because
this
they
whole
are not
first part
exposed
isn't
to
really.
or have
Oh, you've been to
knowledge that others
HMK's
suffer
event,
far
JY.
further
Oh
than
my
that
god,
touch of
I'm
their
I'm so,
imagination. They
I'm so
start to
sorry
think
for
that
your
this is the
experience.
for
It's
example, the titular poor dad
yeah, it's
in
not good.
Robert Kiyosaki's Rich
Oh yeah,
Dad
so
Poor
yeah,
Dad
Robert
is a
Kiyosaki, that's who I
successful
was
educated
originally researching, which is
academic.
why like the
Kiyosaki's
first 9
benchmark
minutes
for
of this video
poor
is focused on Robert
prolific
Kiyosaki.
academic success.
And I think
Just
I
think
was
about the
also
message that's
going to
sent
focus
out.
on a
This allows for a
second
level of
person. I
self-selection
think her
on
name
how
was
would the
Katerina
Nigerian print scam.
Rando.
The same way advanced
but
fee scams
I got
tends to have poor language
redirected
target people
by
who also
Hun Min
have poor
Kwang.
reading comprehensions. The
And
people who will read Kiyosaki's
I ended
books
up
and attend his
fall-
seminars are people who
going
think
through
a
his
successful
disconnect
career in
and
academia is poor.
and all
These
his
people likely
yeah,
already
his-
have
his-
a decent
his-
amount of money and social status and are already leaning towards the side of business. To them,
things.
Kiyosaki's poor dad is on the edge
You know what?
of
I
imaginable
should slow down.
suffering.
I'm trying
And if you
to
can come
catch
back
up to
from
my.
this edge, the most horrible situation they can possibly imagine.
I'm trying to like
everyone should
keep
be
pace
able
with
to
my
do
videos,
too.
which is very
Your life
weird
sucks?
because
Well, I just followed
I
these
I
instructions
script
and
my
I got
videos to be
my
very
life back
fast, but I'm
together,
a very
so I'm
slow
sure
talker in
you
real life.
can do it too. And this is pretty much the same tactic used by these self-help
So
gurus. These
I will
tactics do not
try
account
to
for pre-existing
calm
wealth,
down from
privilege,
now
race,
on
health,
to
or any other systemic issues.
like
And
just
maybe you're thinking
really
that I don't
focus on
agree
stuff
with
of my
Kiyosaki
video.
just because I'm a woke moralist, commie, socialist, Antifa, whatever, blah blah blah.
What the heck?
And he's a Trump supporting fucking.
The hair
allegedly.
clip thing was just a
So okay.
just a running joke.
Self-help
like
group.
I'm
Sorry,
slowly losing
life
my
coach
mind from
that I theoretically
jumping into the
cite.
rabbit hole of it.
Let's talk about Hun Ming Kwang. Is it
Yeah,
Hun or Hun?
so we
I really
started
should try
on
this
Ho
out.
Min Kwang. Oh, it's 5 minutes. I thought it was 9
Were
minutes. Man, I
recommended to me
spent a lot
by
of time
an
on this guy.
acquaintance when
This
researching
video was
this topic.
originally
I'm
supposed to only be
taking
10 minutes
specifically
long,
for two
and as you
reasons.
can see from the time
He
code,
is, as far as I can tell,
that's not
a left
what happened.
and B, the self-help he's peddling is in a topic I have some level of knowledge in: mental health. His
Came in with quite a
autobiography, spiritual
hopeful
teacher, professional
direction.
artist,
I was hoping
social
that a
healer,
person who
life
is like a
coach,
mental
and
health self-help
community
guru
leader,
would
which is
be.
just like,
I don't know
perfect
why I
topic,
thought it would be
just
better.
short of a guru or
But
coach.
I honestly came in
terms of
hoping it
self-help,
was
his books
good.
are fine. They are all just interviews with professionals in the mental health.
I did read all his
community or
books. They cost like
politicians
I
and
think
social
close to
workers.
$100 if
So
you buy
quite
them.
humble
I just
stuff,
borrowed them from
but
the library.
also
Just Jesus
not
Christ.
really self-help.
Please
His
support your
self-help
local
persona comes
library.
from his talks, seminars, events, and a community group he founded, the group we will get back to his group. His book series, Treading Walls, are honestly just interview transcripts. They seem like a genuine effort to do some good in the mental health sphere.
Yeah,
As
so
far as self-help books go,
I
they're
met
fine. Not
his
great,
one of his
but not
recruiters
They
who,
get my official
who
seal of
also tried to recruit a friend of mine,
but
and
oh yes, there are buts.
that's how
It has
we
issues.
got into the
Let's hope the problems are
story in
just
the
with the
first
books,
place. Otherwise,
not
I think
with
I would
the
have
author,
completely skipped
because
this guy if they didn't actually try to
would-
recruit me.
would be bad. Hun is the
Foreshadowing
interviewer in
joke.
the majority of these interviews, and because of the transcript
Every time I
nature of
foreshadow
the
something, I
you
just
get to
add
see
one
some
hair
of his
clip.
personal beliefs and worldviews.
It's not even a hair clip. It's like
For example, out of the 75 interviewees,
It's the
less
clip
than
that you
6
use for
of them
potato
even
chips.
mention having a chronic or serious mental health disorder.
To be love.
Speed
I
readings of
remember
Ayn
very
Rand
last
is one or
time all
two,
my
but
friends was
even
reading that
at a
Kiyosaki's
conservative
book.
estimate, that's
That book
still
and
less
all
than
said
10%
is
of the
Revelation.
people interviewed. The
It's interesting.
interviewees are mostly politicians,
Yeah, 'cause like
self-help gurus,
self-help
life
is
coaches, and
they
people
give
in the
you
mental health
advice,
industry,
but
which
they're
are
not
fine,
really
don't get me wrong.
unique
But for books
advice.
about
They're
the
just
invisible threat of
life
mental
advice that
illnesses,
you
you'd
will
think there'd be
eventually
more,
get
you
just
know,
by
people who are
living
invisible
your
instead of
life.
the most visible and,
And
prominent figures
normal
in the
people can
country.
just
One
give
also
you
keeps
life
away from topics
life
about
advice like
how
that. They're
finance
nothing
and
special.
culture affects mental health. There's
But
an almost
if you
childlike
go out
understanding of business
looking
structure
for
and how
it and you find it
disproportionately
in
affects
these people
workers, and
who
seems to think that just
specifically
clearing the
try
air
to
with
sell it,
management will
it might
institute.
seem
Whenever finance is brought up,
it might
seems to
seem
almost
unique.
magically swerve away from the topic, and
It's
there's
like if you're
an
looking for
unholy focus
taco
on the power
and
of individual awareness
like
and
tacos
steps
aren't
to be
special,
required.
but if you
Sweeping
are looking for
systemic changes
taco
within
and
parts of
you found
society,
someone selling taco, you
it's
think like,
not
oh my
really
god, tacos!
surprising.
This guy is so special.
Hun
He's
is a
he's
guru.
selling this food that I
Sorry,
really wanted.
life
And
coach. And so the people
suddenly
surrounding him
you're like,
vary
ooh,
from
taco,
a
great!
certain
Ooh,
level
taco is
of privilege
amazing.
above.
Taco is the
with
best food
stable
ever.
Jobs,
Taco,
expats,
taco,
middle
taco
class
rocks.
and
Man. I love
above people.
tacos.
Aside from that, I keep coming across a few terms in these
Shiitake
books, which I
pulled
would like to
mushroom
explore.
taco from
One of them
Guzman.
is the term
I
life
eat
coach.
there
The
quite a
term
lot.
life coach, or more
I
specifically,
have to
ICF
life coach
certified
with air
keeps
quotes
popping up
quite a
during my
bit.
research. According to Hun Ming Kwang, he himself is an ICF certified
I hope the
coach.
audio,
He
like
even
me
interviews
talking
a
over, is
few of
okay
them for
for the
his books.
speaker
Another
of
random
the
financial self-help book I
video.
picked
If
up
it's like
was
too
also
loud,
written
just
by
let me
one of
know.
these
I will.
ICF
Oh,
certified
Katarina
coaches,
Reno is the
which
other person that was
brings up the question.
researching that I didn't end up doing anything about.
What is the International Coaching Federation, or ICF, is a non-profit organization that
The
certifies professional coaches.
ICF.
Cool.
So here's some
Organization
things that I
makes
found out about the
people
ICF
qualified for
after the
coaching.
video.
Sounds good. Though
The
guideline
ICF
seems a little messy and regulations are
kind
a
of sucks
little
at
weird.
their
It's probably
search
fine.
engine capabilities. Like,
But
it's
and again,
really difficult to
looking into the ICF's history
find
has been an
coaching
absolute pain, because there's nothing
accreditation
much
on their
Good,
system.
nothing bad, just that they exist.
They don't really
They are
track
the
it
most
very well.
suspiciously quiet
After this
international accrediting organization
So
I
while
have
I was
ever
making this
looked
video,
into.
Hun Ming
If
Kwang
I
was,
had
as
a
far as I
dollar
know,
for every
not
international
a certified
accrediting
ICF
organization I looked
coach.
into, I'd have
But
$2, which
after
isn't a
the
lot,
video
but it's
came out,
strange
he
that
got himself
otherwise. The
recertified.
similarly functioning IAAPS, or
And
YAPS,
it's
which
kind of
accredits
annoying to me.
pilots instead of coaches, were founded in the same year, but has a far clearer public trail. And if I had to guess why we're lacking so much information on the ICF, I'd say they might be allegedly hiding something or not have enough people.
Yeah, ICF is
look
basically
into their history.
accreditation mail. People just like
The
go
ICF was
in to
founded by Thomas
get
J. Leonard,
their
whose middle name is lost
coaching
to the list because
accreditation.
he
The-
decided to have two first names.
the coaching
A
level, like
personal coach,
professional
Leonard was
certified
an
master
employee
certified,
at
whatever,
Erhard
it
Seminars
it
Training,
doesn't-
or EST,
it
a
truly
former
doesn't
self-help
matter.
cult seminar, which was founded by the self-help guru Werner Hans Erhard, who changed his name from John
Werner
Paul
Erhard
Rosenberg
has a
to sound
lot of
smarter
weird
after
history, man.
abandoning
If
his
you guys
wife
get
and
the
4
chance to
children
like
and property and run
read up
off
on
with
his
another
history,
woman. So
it is
nothing unethical
weird.
there.
There's like
Thomas J. Leonard also founded
racism,
Coach U, Coach Ville, and
sexism.
the International Association of Coaching, all of which provides paid
Illumi
coaching
Nubi. Why
education
do
that
I
is
have
recognized by
4
the
potato
ICF.
chip backflip?
ICF
I do
does
not
this
have
by
4
having
potato
coaches
chip
be
backflip,
mentored
but
by
I
ICF
have
certified coaches and schools by
28
paying, of course,
potato
so
chip
that the coaches in
backflip.
training will then one day be able to take the ICF coaching assessment.
I can use them to clip a lot of stuff. Better than like
coach other
clipping
coaches in
this
training
potato
to
chip
become
back.
coaches.
So yeah,
Coaches.
four
In
potato chip
2011,
back
the
clipper
ICF
on my
launched the
hair.
EU
I think I end up with
Protection
6 or
Initiative to
7
keep
by the time
coaching
the
a
video ends.
self-regulated
But I have
profession,
28.
meaning that it can continue without any oversight from government or academia.
Yeah, ICF
And they
has
do have
no
a
oversight
page on
from
their
anyone.
website
It
where you
is
can report to them if
nuts.
someone is trying to
Can you
regulate
imagine if
and that's
any
not
kind of
shady
things
at all. Getting a
doesn't have
basic
oversight?
accreditation from
Any
the ICF
organization
costs a
has
person
zero
around
oversight?
$6,000 and $400 for renewal, which
That's
is a
nuts.
cost considering that getting an associate accreditation.
I mean, eventually we
takes
did realize
only
that a lot of
150
these
hours
things
to
are not
qualify for
regulated
if
in my
you
country of
really
Singapore.
Just go for it. That's like 3 work weeks, I think. So, to recap,
And it
the
costs
ICF
so
is a
much to get
non-profit
like
organization
ICF
founded
certified.
by the employee of a
But
former self-help
You can
company.
honestly get yourself certified as like a counselor,
Sorry,
which is so
There are
much
a lot
better
of
for like
for-profit
I think
coaching
similar
organizations
amounts.
that rely on its accreditation.
So the only reason you
An
want to
accreditation
like
which
get ICF
relies
certified
on
is
itself
because
to
you don't want to be
with
regulated as a counselor, I think.
itself or by
That's
the
my
school,
guess.
accredited
All of these
by
are just my
itself.
opinions.
An
Please not use
organization
them
that
in a
relies on
court of law.
itself to train other coaches accredited by itself. This doesn't seem right. Oh, by the way, I am legally required to say that this is not an accreditation mill or pyramid scheme. Test. Hey, future Aiden here.
I don't
Seeing
remember
as how
this
this
part.
script has completely gone off pace, I'm going to tack on a little something that I missed out. I want to talk about legally protected term. Legally protected
right.
terms
Legally
are
protected
phrases or
terms, right.
titles that are regulated by government or academia. They can also have different levels for different users. For example, a professor is not a legally protected term, unlike a doctor. I can call myself Professor Aiden, but without a doctorate, I
We love
cannot
need some
call myself
beer
a
to
doctor.
enjoy.
Further still,
Oh
a
yeah,
doctor
go
is
buy
not on the same
beer.
level as an MD,
Don't be
which
alcoholic,
requires not
but
just
can't
a
go buy
doctorate,
beer.
but also
I can't
legal
read beer
training.
anymore.
If you use these terms without the right qualification, you can get into legal trouble. The problem with organizations
Yeah,
like
there's
the
some
ICF
terms
is that
that
it is
are
not
legally
regulated by
defined,
government or
but not
academia. There's no
legally
real legal
regulated. Like
repercussions for someone to call
psychologists,
himself
psychiatrists, all
a
these
coach.
are
Instead of
the
going through the
psychologists,
legal
sorry,
route
psychologists,
to be
therapists,
certified a
counselors, those are
counselor,
legally
therapist, or
defined,
psychologist,
but they're not
someone
legally
can just
regulated in
call
Singapore, which
themselves a
is
life
a
coach and
problem.
claim to provide the same or
But
similar
at
service. I
least
can call
being
myself a
legally
coach. They
defined
can get
means
the
that
ICF
you have
accreditation
some
before or after, and it doesn't
control
matter.
over it.
Unlike
You are
legally
able
protected
to
terms,
like,
it's hard to argue that these
you know,
unregulated
if
terms,
if
accredited or not, are there to protect
if
consumers. However,
if
getting these
if a
accreditation do
guru
protect
or
people
whatever
from
does
using
something,
these
you can at
unregulated
least have a
terms from
term to
defamation laws. Singapore
put
in
in
particular
court
is
that
famous for
lets
its
you
use of
defend
defamation
yourself
laws, which
with.
is why throughout the video I've been saying this. Let's talk
Yeah,
about
the
a
defamation
self-help
laws
guru,
in Singapore is terrible.
life coach,
Been a
former
pain in my butt
self-help
for all
coach,
3 videos.
seminar.
I spent nearly a year and 3 months on all 3 of them combined, so it's
Terms like self-help gurus were
Well,
popularized
it really
in the 60s to 80s. There were
waste
more
my
people
year.
willing to take advice quoted in words of mysticism and exorcism then. But as the world globalized and snake oils are slowly replaced with corporate speak, weight loss experts are now nutritionists.
Yeah,
Gurus are now
nutritionists
coaches. The
are
legally
not
protected
legally
terms are not
defined.
available to these people.
Nutritionists
So
are
you
not
go for the
legally
best
defined term, it's
professional
dietitian
sounding thing.
that
And
is
all this
legally
was
defined.
going on in the background of my research until I found out that Hun Ming Kwang is not ICF certified.
Yeah, trying to
Remember
find
when
her
he
his
had
certification is like
he wasn't?
ridiculously
I
stupid.
asked
So
ICF if
he-
they held records of former
after
coaches to
after
see
the
if
video,
Hun
I
Ming
found his
used to be ICF
recertification.
certified.
It was
Also,
under
waited
the name
to
of
check for any
Hun Ming,
disqualified
but no
coaches,
Kwang,
and they told me that those
which
records are
who
not
the hell writes a name like that,
available
man?
for public viewing. Jesus Christ.
It's not like
Nothing
middle and last
suspicious
name
or
is like
ethically wrong there
it's
either,
first name
I
and
must legally say.
half of
Okay,
his
so
name.
maybe Hun isn't a certified coach. Big deal. Not like that means anything now. Did he just lie?
Yeah, it
Maybe
doesn't
he just
matter if
didn't
you're
renew his
certified.
certification, even with such a low requirement. You
I
can
I
literally
spoke
do
with people who
coaching
like
or study for 40
with
minutes
other
a week
coaches,
and you will
and they
qualify to
admit that the
renew your
certification
ICF
doesn't
accreditation
actually
every year.
matter.
That's less time than
It's
it
just
takes
like
to
a
watch the Power
it's just like a
Rangers movie.
thing for
No, I'm talking about the good one. No, the good one.
Alright,
Yes,
I like this
joke is
joke.
just for you, Ranger Nation.
I
But
think the
it's
Temple
really
Power Ranger
starting to
movies are
seem like
great.
this is an entire industry built on grifts and sight of grifts.
Where the
making
hell was I? I
wrestling
keep going
dull
on
with grifts.
tangents.
Every time I disassemble one grift, I find another one hidden in a corner. So maybe let's bring
Certifications
it all
are
back to
useless,
what
yeah.
we say.
Certifications
Maybe
doesn't
it's
really
what these
matter.
people preach that's good
They
and important.
they
A lot of
just
people
sort of
manage to do good work within shady systems.
like-
so let's take a look.
it's like those
at Hun's
nutrition
mental
labels
health
on food.
philosophy.
Some of them really don't
Shredder's
matter.
totally
The
good and
nutritions are just like
unproblematic, and he is
random,
qualified to
but
help, and will
when
in
people see
no
it, they
way
feel safer,
be
even though it
possibly
doesn't
harmful
do anything.
whatsoever.
Another
Aside
foreshadowing
from
joke
the
and
bargaining statements,
another
Hun
potato
keeps
chip
bringing
hair
up
clip.
two other terms in his
One's at
books
the
and
back, so I
segments.
don't think you can see it well.
Awareness and inner troops. Hun makes it very clear in his books that I could get my hands on that his definitions of
Yeah,
awareness and
buzzwords
mindfulness
are
two
a very
different
common thing
concepts.
used
He doesn't
by
actually ever explain properly what
self-help
mindfulness
gurus and
is to
cult
him,
leaders like that.
nor does he talk about what awareness is and
Awareness
how
seems
not
to just be
being
like some
causes
level of
because
mindfulness.
fuck
but
that shit. But from what
it's
I
not-
managed to piece together, his definition
It's
of
not really well
awareness
defined.
is the ability to identify yourself in the world, the ability to know that you exist as a person and your goals and self, and be aware of those things and aware of the world around, and it's blah 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 blah.
It doesn't matter.
And inner truths are just buzzwords to mean personal goals, ideal self, and things along that line. It's manifestation BS.
Yeah,
You
it's
can literally Google manifestation.
Those who don't know what
BS
manifestation
and
is
find
the idea
similar
that if you
And
if you
to
think
understand
something
why
will
none of this
happen, it will
matters,
happen.
you need
Believe
to
in
understand
yourself,
the difference
basically.
between mental health and
I
mental
mean, you should always believe in
illnesses.
yourself, but
Mental health is something
just
that
believing in
everybody
yourself
has.
doesn't make
These are
things
your
happen. You have to put in the
anxieties
work,
and your
kind of
grief.
thing.
They can be managed or completely avoided if you take care of yourself, or if society is
I feel like
accommodating.
skipping this. I don't think
Mental
anybody here
illnesses
don't know
are
what mental
disorders
health
and
is.
sicknesses that only affects a portion of the
Jesus
population.
Christ, Illuminati,
These
no,
are your chronic or
stop,
severe mental health
don't
conditions
do
like
PM memes.
anxiety disorder,
I understand it, but
alienating
nobody else
disorder, or
in the chat will
schizophrenia,
probably
bipolar
understand it.
disorder. They cannot be avoided.
It's probably
You
just
have
like a
them,
me thing now at
you
this
have
point.
them. They can be managed and they might be curable, but getting it is out of your control. Basically,
next time I'll
all
stream
mental
myself
illnesses
playing
are
Members
mental
Company.
health issues, but not all mental health issues are mental illnesses. Think of them as the difference between having muscle
Yeah,
cramps
not all mental health
and having
issues are mental
multiple
illnesses.
sclerosis. The awareness that Hans speaks of is a passive meditation technique, something that runs automatically in the back of your mind, while the more commonly used mindfulness is an active meditation technique. There are some overlaps in these techniques, but
I'm not very
effectiveness
happy with
differs.
the way I define
Awareness
these two
helps
terms
if
here.
you are not in active
I
mental
still think
health
they're right.
situations.
Just
You
I
are,
felt like I
for
could have
all
gone
intents and
deeper.
purposes, normal. And would
God
like to
damn it,
keep it
Illuminati,
that way.
Jesus Christ.
But it is next to useless if you are someone experiencing active trauma.
I
And I'm
can
gonna
tell
say
I,
something that
I
Hun Ming
spent a
Guan
lot
should
of
have
time
said
in
on
the
page
game of
1 of
Members
his
Company.
books, or the first 5
But the
seconds
fact that I
when he opens his mouth
understand the
to speak on
memes
this
that are
topic.
put that this
I
guy's
am
like,
not
Limbo says
qualified to talk
what
about
the
this.
Illuminati
neither
is
is
putting
Hun,
into my
Because
chest right
Hun,
now.
and get this, isn't a trained therapist or a psychologist or a psychiatrist or anything.
Yeah, people are not
He's an
trained shouldn't
architect.
do
Wait a minute, this isn't the
this mental
LinkedIn
stuff.
profile from before. He couldn't be trying to hide his past qualifications by creating an entirely new profile with just
Oh, the
recent
mastermind thing in
qualifications.
his profile
Could
is
he? No,
freaking
that's
weird,
dishonest.
man. It's
I mean,
just
the
I don't
earliest
even know what
activity
to
I could
say
find
about
from
that.
him was when in 2015.
But there's
he
a
was
whole story behind
campaign
this Dream
manager
Singapore
of Dream
thing,
Singapore,
and
a society run
this
by a
guy
group.
Calvin, who is like his
It's another
his
code.
mentor. There's a whole story behind it about it being like one of the earliest coaching schools and stuff. I won't get into it. There's too much money there for me
Sorry, I
to
got
do
sidetracked.
anything about it.
Wow, this video is a real roller coaster. Where were we?
Jesus Christ, it's only 20 minutes.
Mindfulness. Mindfulness is required for active trauma therapy because it's the act of grounding. People with severe mental illnesses mostly don't have trouble going inwards, but rather have issues remembering they are part of the world. It's a phenomenon called disassociation.
Yeah, this was
Basically,
actually very
having
common
trouble
for anyone who has
here.
mental health
This is
conditions.
real. This is all real.
It because it can life can feel unreal
Disassociation
when
is
you're
what
going
active
through a
meditation
mental health
is.
episode.
And meditative therapy of any kind is really hard to do, especially if used on someone in severe active trauma by someone without proper training. An important part in all this is to open up an individual to traumatic experience, which is very dangerous. It can cause anxiety,
Yeah,
physical
this-
pain, and even
This process of opening
The
yourself
reason
up to
why
trauma
Horn's definition
usually
of
takes
awareness and mindfulness doesn't matter.
months
It's
of
because
therapy
he isn't
before a
qualified to
therapist will
conduct
even like
therapy,
start doing
even
this.
though he actively does so.
I've
in
gone
the
through this
exact way
process
I
before,
described it.
and it
Because-
took me
and I'm
6
gonna
months
repeat
of
this.
therapy
He's
before
an
we even start.
architect. He's not trained in any form of
I'm gonna-
meditative therapy.
Oh,
What
alright.
he is doing is scratching the surface of a very
Shortcut to
powerful,
lower the
very
audio.
complicated process. His techniques works for his crowd because they have already cultivated an in-group. The people who go to him aren't doing it because the techniques are proven effective for everyone. They are staying with him because it's effective for them. For example, most meditation doesn't work.
I think
for
I
me
covered this
because I have
phenomenon a
condition
bit more in my
called
second video.
aphantasia. My therapy has to be specially tailored. What is he going to do if I show up? People in vulnerable situations do show up to his sessions. Is he equipped to handle the tailored treatment they need? But hey, as long as gurus,
Hey Ida,
life
thanks
coaches
for
like him
commenting.
don't
Yeah,
peddle
thanks for
pseudoscience
liking the
and
video.
mysticism and don't take
Yes,
advantage of
Limbus,
their vulnerable clients
Illuminobi
for an
is
obscene amount of money selling them fake cures and
he's
magical
doing
healing
Limbus
products
Company memes.
that
Limbus
might
Company
be
is a
misguided,
game.
but still borderline ethical.
Joy on my playlist.
Right?
Then now it's a thing.
No, we're not doing the shadow choke again. I'm running out of hair to clip.
How many hair clips did I use?
Show it to
1, 2,
me.
3, 4,
Show
5.
me the truth. I can take it.
Oh, so at the end of this, I think a segment called copyright struck. It's like 3 seconds I used as a joke.
This
right
a
here.
Master Crystal Skull whose
So,
name is Mikado.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, the segment was 3 seconds long, but it was enough for him to file a copyright strike.
Let's
Just
talk
remove
about
it and it's
the
fine. And
community
YouTube,
group Ming Kwang founded.
he tried to
This
file a
connect
second
today.
copyright strike, and the second one was it fell through.
I don't know, man. This video really got away from me. Disconnect is a grown-up movement advocacy platform, mental health awareness.
I don't know what the
community, blah, blah,
dot
blah.
today
Buzzword,
actually
buzzword,
does,
buzzword.
to be honest.
The self-help movement. Really
Everyone
got
just
down
calls
to
it
this.
disconnect.
So, foregoing all their flashy self-titles, from what I can tell, it's a social community/group that hosts monthly sessions on mental health awareness. They do meetups and art therapy events organized by the architect Hun Ming Kwang.
The art therapy that Disconnect
For
does
simplicity, I'm just going to classify them
it
as a self-help group
isn't-
because that's what they seem like. To
isn't
be honest,
really
and I don't
interesting.
really know what to call
Isn't
them,
really
and it doesn't
special.
make it clear.
They're like
I wasn't
kindergarten
actually gonna talk
art,
about
like
this group
mask
because
painting,
it
finger
seemed like another
painting, that kind
genuine
of stuff.
attempt by Hun at creating a safe
Use
space
your
for
emotions to
mental health
paint
issues.
very,
Like his books, it was going
5-year-old
to get the
things.
official Aiden seal
Not-
of
you know,
approval.
yeah, it's yeah.
Until I found this. Disconnect has been alleged to be a cult, and the more I dig into this, the more I find this compelling. But because of Singapore's defamation laws, I cannot legally say this group is a cult. So legally, I won't say this group is a cult. Aside from actively slut-shaming someone and misattributing the medical issues of addiction, there are accounts from former participants about the techniques used in their meetings, described as cult-like. I wanted to go to one of these meetings, but some of the people
Silent dots like
silent
silent
not
teeth.
friendly note, and
Yeah,
I don't
Disconnect
think I would be able
dot
to get
today.
a genuine experience.
Don't know why
that way.
anyone would pronounce it as a dot.
Which is why, if you want to help me,
It'd be
afford
funny if it's like a
money to
period, so
hire
it's like
random
Disconnect.
strangers from the internet to
Day.
do weird things
That's
in
the
your
organization's name.
Sign up for patreon.com/Aiden.
Oh, fat body incoming.
Okay, so I honestly thought that segment of the video was gonna end on that dumbass joke there. But at the start of researching Disconnect, I actually found a couple of people who had went to the
I really have to
sessions who were
thank a lot of
about
these
their experience
people who
online,
came forward
and I
with
had
their
messaged
stories
pretty
to
much all
like
of
you know
them.
message
None of them
me,
replied
email
for
me,
about a
talk to me.
month. I thought
None
that
of
was
these
dead end,
videos
it's
would have
just a
happened
throwaway
without
account.
them.
People were trying to
It
stay
is
anonymous and whatnot. But
incredibly
last week, someone
brave
did
to
end up
step
replying,
up against
and
someone
we
who
messaged back
you
and
think
forth. It
is
was really interesting, and
possibly
they pretty
dangerous and
much
litigious.
confirmed
So,
everything I suspected
a
about
really
Disconnect
big
and
shout out,
Hong Kong.
but
So
not too
what
big of a shout
Disconnect
out
does is
to
something
like
called
name
trauma
them
bonding session. It's very
to
common
all
with
these
cults,
victims and
religion,
targets of
armies. You put your
recruitment.
recruits, client, flocks, whatever into a highly emotional
situation.
Oh,
where
funny thing about
people have a heightened
all these videos is that for some reason every time I release a video that goes big, somebody will eventually
talking about
talk
really
about
traumatic stuff like abuse,
how
depression, and
not
mental health
nice it is to
things like that.
watch
At
me
the end of
being
these sessions,
fat.
participants tend to
Uh,
very susceptible
I'm a fat man,
to
that's
the
joke,
relationship
but
other people have
it's-
went through with them.
I think it's weird,
Also very
man.
malleable to suggestions. So once
We're
these
talking
sessions are
about
over,
the
disconnects,
the mass
organizers will
abuse
go
and
through Hun Min Kwang's teachings
financial
and
manipulations
his
of
books at the
dozens
end.
of
It is
people,
standard
and
televangelism
people are
stuff.
like
You will see
thinking
this
about
if
my
you
weight.
just
That's
watch
weird,
any
man.
televangelist on TV. And at the end of the session, at the very, very end, when everyone's leaving, these leaders will pick out a person from the crowd. I don't know what the criteria
Running
is,
out of water.
but they will
Really
pick
should
out
have
people
gotten more
from the crowd
water.
that they
Oh well.
think are able to move further, or just steamroll through and just try to get them to go further. And these people will get pushed on to meet Hun Min Kwang. The person that I messaged with, they managed to get all the way to meeting Hun Min
Yeah,
Kwang
so
himself.
this
and the
person
experience
managed to meet
was
Hun Min Kwang, and
interesting. And at
Ah,
the face-to-face meeting, Hun Min
we
Kwang
have so
offered
much
his
exchange
800
that I
plus
didn't show here, but
which,
we're like
and
describing
I
Min
gotta
Kwang's
reiterate,
personality
man, he's an
very
engineer. He's
self-centered kind
he's
of
not qualified to do any of this. I don't know
body
why.
language.
It's been 2 months. I want this
Oh,
video to end now.
past Aiden.
Disconnect's teachings are
You
incredibly
think 2 months of research was bad?
Advice like doing things
You don't
out of
know
fear
what
is
what
bad
lays
on
ahead.
their social media
It's a
accounts.
year of
Rather than
hell.
generic life quotes like
Should've just done Teal Swan. It would be so much easier.
Teal Swan is a cult leader. Why are there so many Teal Swan quotes? It's like quoting Adolf Hitler on why war is bad. Anyway, doing things out of fear is bad, which, as a statement, on the surface, fair enough. But what if your fear is justified? What if you're a victim of abuse and your abuser asks you to do something that you don't want to do, with threats of violence?
Going through this video,
You're afraid,
all
right?
these
By
videos, I
the
had to
logic of the
really
methodology, you shouldn't do it. But
reconsider my
no, your
position
life is in
on
danger.
a lot of things. One of them is like my
These
feelings of
situations must be handled with
being
absolute care because
scammed,
they are
and like
vulnerable, as a lot of people in
I have a
these
lot
crises
more
This group
sympathy
doesn't
for
understand
scam
actual
victims
mental health
now
challenges. It understands
than
awareness,
before.
the catchy
My sympathy was really
inspirational
quite high, but
dangerous
now
quote
I'm just
that
like,
way. Those generalized nonsense
my sympathy is
are
all
over the social
theirs,
media.
you know.
This
There's
kind
no,
of
they are
empowerment
not
is
at
too
fault at
generalized
all.
because they are
Welcome back to
believed
Beloved.
relies
I
on
hope
treating
you got
individuals
beer.
as a group with similar
I don't
financial
drink
lives.
beer anymore.
And the key word
I
there
never liked
is
beer. I
functional.
like sake,
Your lives have
but
to be
I don't drink
functioning for
anymore.
these
But I hope you
advices.
enjoy your beer.
They are Barnum statements for the people who are not in vulnerable
We are at
circumstances.
6
They
hair
are
clips
for,
now.
to put it kind of bluntly, privileged neurotypicals. And to really understand how superficial an understanding of mental health issues this self-help group has,
I felt like I
you just
generalized
have
too
to
much
look
at
at
this.
their website.
Oh yeah, lights coming.
Warning, flashing lights, loud noises, skip to the time code if needed. This website
Oh, I
hurts.
hate this
I
website.
asked a friend with obsessive compulsive disorder, and
This is a website meant for. I'm gonna pause a bit just to go back and show you. So this website is meant for people with mental health issues to look at.
obsessive
It
compulsive
is
disorder, and they stated that
nuts.
it
It
caused
is
them severe
so
discomfort. And another friend
overwhelming, you know,
spectrum was almost
for
overloaded
anyone with,
with
like,
loud, unskippable,
any kind of
unfiltered music that started
neurodivergency.
playing
This
without
is
their permission. Even I
yeah.
felt
This
my brain
website
disorder
just
kicking into
just
gear when
blows
bombarded with all these
blows your
constant movements. If you
brain
are someone who
literally in the
suffers from
not
any
good
number of
way.
chronic mental illnesses or are on a neurodivergent spectrum, this website, run by a spiritual leader focused on mental health awareness and wellness, absolutely eats dog shit for people who are mentally ill or neurodivergent. It's fashion. It's fashion that appeals to, and I say this with love, normies.
Oh, you know, like
There
web
is
design.
zero empathy
Yeah,
or
web
any
design is
consideration for how
web
this
design requires a
website
lot
will
of
affect
like
the
artistic
neurodivergent
like
community.
planning and
It
stuff.
hosts all
I am a
outward
big
portrayals of help. But when the
I'm a big
going gets
UI
tough,
guy.
when
I
you're
love user
actually
interface design, so
required
I
to put
really
some
respect people
effort into
who, you know,
researching what
understand
people
and
who are neurodivergent
put
needs.
effort into web
The
design.
level of
And
care
the website of
varies.
Disconnect
Because
is
here's
not
the
one of
thing
those
about
things.
and especially their founder Hun Min Kwang. And I'm going to keep repeating this. He's just a guy.
He's just
not
a guy.
psychiatrist or psychologist.
Zero
He's not even a trained
qualifications. No
counselor
idea
or
what he's doing in this field, man.
He's
It's
an
so
artist.
dangerous.
His friend committed suicide, and that made him.
I don't even know if this story is
A
actually
law that is
true, to be honest, because
incredibly
like I
It
couldn't.
doesn't grant him any
I
qualification
couldn't,
or
like,
knowledge on the
what's the word?
actual subject of mental illness.
My brain is farting again.
I have a friend that committed suicide.
Couldn't
30 years
confirm
of
it?
experience battling chronic mental illness, 11 years of therapy, 8 years of activism, 5 suicide
These are
attempts, a
footages from
handful of
my
video essays,
previous.
one
Oh yeah, I
published
wrote a
story,
short
and one
story.
documentary on
Don't know
mental
if it's
health under
still
my belt.
findable.
And even I don't think I'm qualified to help anyone, let alone be a spiritual leader. He's
I
been
can
talking
give you
about
guys
mental
advice,
health
but
stigma
I
being
don't
the
think I can
biggest
help
hurdle
people with
in
like
raising
serious mental health
Even though stigma and
episodes.
awareness have not been the main issue in the community for a long time. We have other things like finance, healthcare accessibility, and job availability to think about now. Because mental health isn't just an issue with an individual or societal outlook and personality. It's a healthcare and systemic crisis.
Yeah, mental health is
It's as
healthcare.
if
People
someone
need to
says,
get that
hey,
into
my
their
house
head.
is on fire. Can you put out
You need
the
a doctor
fire?
to
The fireman
really
says,
help
exactly.
people put this
We
through
need
this.
to get rid of matches. Like, the matches are a problem, sure, but it's
Hey,
not the main
Dipcon,
problem now. Have
thanks
someone
thanks
put out the
for
matches,
thinking
yes,
I do
but
great work. I
maybe
don't think I do
point
great
the
work,
fire
but thanks.
extinguisher at the
I
fire
run the
first.
Cult Podcast
Steve
website.
Solano,
Oh, you run the
author
Cult
of the
Podcast.
book
You,
Sham, How
you,
the Self-Help
the
Movement
Cult
Prepared for
Podcast is
Helpless,
the one that's been
actually
sharing
has
the
a
video
term for
around.
this kind of
Thanks a lot if that's you.
He calls it happiest, where
I was
followers
quite
of
surprised to
self-help
see like
ideology embraces these
see pop up on
self-empowerment
my
theories to the
Reddit
point where they
dashboard.
live and act
I'm a
with the
Redditor.
genuine belief that
I
self-help
live with that
is the
scum of
most
hive
important thing
and
to do,
villainy.
even at the cost of the welfare of other people around you. The angle of their happiness justifies every mean. They will
His
put out
monologue
all the
is-
matches because that makes them comfortable, disregarding every fire in the background. And from my personal experience speaking with members of Disconnect, yeah, that sounds about right. The rhetorics of self-help
I have no idea
culture, if I
what
can
to
do it,
say
so can
during
you.
the monologues
Completely
of these
ignoring that
videos.
some people
Even the
have
last two
left and
streams,
might.
monologues are just
People in poverty are expected to be able to follow Robert
the
Kiyosaki's
final monologue is
methods
usually
just as
a
much as
lot of
someone in
emotions
middle
put
class
into
or
it.
high wealth. Things like systemic racism, generational
And
wealth, and class
this
zoning
topic will hit
doesn't
really
even
close to my
matter
heart. I
to
put
him.
like
And you are
extra
expected to benefit
extra
from Ho Min
spiked.
Kwang's teachings regardless of your level of mental crises. Remember when I told you I didn't go to one of Hoon's Disconnect session in person? The reason is because I have a panic disorder in places and events like those. It takes an immense amount of effort.
Yeah, so
to
ever
put
since
myself
this
in
video came
certain
out,
situations.
I
I
further
would
worked
literally
on
have
my
a
panic
attack
disorder.
and dropped to the floor.
I've gotten better at
physically
controlling it.
paralyzed
It
for
still
up
happens,
to
but
an entire
yeah.
hour.
Oh,
I
this is a
don't
side
have
story. When I
anxiety.
was
I have.
when Disconnect's recruiter tried to recruit me,
I didn't forget.
man, that
my
was
breathing
incredibly
exercises.
uncomfortable.
I'm sick
Uh,
and sometimes disabled.
Like I told them, like you're
And
you're
here's
making
the
me anxious
danger
and
of
you're
groups
giving
like
me like a
this.
panic attack,
What
and they
are
just
these
said
people going to do?
it said something along
Someone
the line
is
of
having a psychotic breakdown
I'm not
in one of the
responsible
sessions
for your
because
panic
they were
attack.
going
Not
through
in the sense
their
that like
unregulated medication.
they
A
didn't cause
serious
it. No, they
trauma
meant it
trigger
like
comes up.
I
They do not
have
the
no
decade of experience my
fault.
colleagues have.
It is
The
I don't have to
counseling
do
center I
anything
used to
about
go
it.
to,
Your panic
high
attack is your
counselors
thing
in
to
training,
deal with.
have
Jesus Christ.
buttons on the wall to
That
be
whole
pressed in case
experience
of
with the
emergencies
Disconnect
like these,
recruiter was
where trained professionals will
was
come
one
and
of the
help,
worst
not
experience in my
explain the
life. I will
situation.
never forget like how
Where is
terrible it felt.
Disconnect's button?
I might have just done this out of spite
These
because of that, to be
patients
honest.
might undergo a
No,
genuine
legally I didn't.
biological
Legally.
mental health crises.
Personally, I don't know.
Chemical balance in their brain breaks. They don't need good vibes, positivity, and a go-get-them attitude. They need fucking healthcare.
Healthcare, mental health care.
Really shouldn't have looked into it. I'm a victim if you think about it. I didn't want to do this. I thought it was just going to be a fun look in self-help movements. It's Dan Olsen's fault. He did a
It is
video
Dan
about
Olsen's
Mickelson
fault.
twins and
He
looked
did the
fun.
video on the
So I tried
Mickelson
to
twins,
one
and I was like,
Ugh.
"Ooh, this is so
Bad
great! I
influence.
should do
Not
something
free
about
floating ideas.
along the
Kids and
line."
children.
And I
If
went to
self-help
find
succeed,
like
congratulations.
weird self-help
I am
people just to
genuinely
take a
happy
look
for
at,
you.
and
But
it
you're
became
not
a
everyone.
whole thing.
Self-help
Jesus
only
Christ!
works when the individuals involved
I don't
share
have
the
the
problem
subscriber
situation.
count of Dan Olsen to like
It's in
back
the
me
name.
up, man.
Self-help. It helps people like yourself. And if you have a misconception about how severe your situation is, you won't be able to identify people different from you. It self-selects. The people who go into a self-help group are the type of people who will go into that group. So to pretend or think that everyone should join you, to challenge every other form of therapy and teachings,
It's
and
just
to point out other
gaslighting,
people's
man.
flaws and
Self-help.
push your own success, and to put your method as something
Just like
that works for
some level of
everyone and not just a
gaslighting.
certain type.
Oh
Isn't
Jesus
help.
Christ! I should have seen gaslighting.
propaganda.
Somebody's gonna comment
And
something
if you
about
ask me
gaslighting
if
again.
self-help is a good or bad thing, I personally say it's terrible. Because while I cannot deny that the self-help movement has made life
Like
better for
working on all my
some
videos,
people,
I've
I
looked at
think
like
its end game
I think
is a cult.
12 different
There's a
self-help
reason why
gurus or
cults
life
have
coaches or
historically
whatever you
come
want to
from
call
either
them.
religion or the
None
secular
of them
world.
are
They are
clean.
communities
They're all
specifically
problematic
catered
on
to
some level or
creating
form.
in-groups that think
It's not a
people
really good
outside their
sample
group are
size,
bad,
but the
that
fact that
just haven't
all
found
of
their
them
method yet, and have a
don't,
tendency
you
to
know,
follow charismatic individuals.
don't clear some level
The
of like
difference is that in self-help, I'm sorry,
okayness,
life coaching,
just
the people are
should be
trained
a
to be
huge
charismatic.
reflect.
It's a case of toxic individualism for people who thinks that because something worked for them, everyone else is either wrong
So
or
the
wrong-minded.
countries that
It's
are
us against the world.
more, they
All
have a lot of
packaged
these
in
self-help and
easily
life
digestible
coaching.
buzzwords and Barnum
They
statements
do
that
have a
cost
culture of
$50 per
individualism
entry
that
or $8,000
seems to
courses. And
expand
don't
to
forget to
a lot
tack
of
on the
their
$1,400 deck
people's
of
daily
magic
life.
tarot
Singapore
cards
being
and
one of
side
them,
hustles
were a
of Crystal
very
Skulls.
individualistic
Michelle
culture.
Goodman, a former self-help author,
Not saying it's
wrote
good or
for
bad.
Vox
I
about
personally
how she
don't
gave
don't
up
like
on
it.
being a
Just
self-help guru.
that's
I
just
was
how it
starting
is.
to feel irresponsible. Like the only way I could keep
The
doing this
VO
was to
here
forget
is my
about
friend
all
M
the
Howell.
people my
She
one-size-fits-all
they have appeared
platitudes
on
couldn't help. But with
multiple
coachology comes
voiceovers. She
great
voiced
responsibility.
Obelisk in my abuse video,
Responsibility
and
to
she
offer
also
advice you know
appeared as
works.
interviewee in
Preferably
my
advice you
first
put to the
documentary
test
on
yourself.
mental health in Singapore.
Responsibility to rise above bullshit
Her new book's
artistry.
about to come out. She's a writer.
To not try
Really,
to solve
she's my
people's
favorite writer right now.
problems who are
Her new
in
book's
no
about to
way
come out.
equipped
Really
to
excited for that.
fix. Advising
You should go check
others
out
on how
M
to steer
Howell.
their professional lives in livelihood was a job I no longer wanted. This wasn't just a crisis of skills or cash flow.
Go
It
to
was a
voiceover
crisis
when
of
I need it.
conscience.
Self-help is flawed because in the grand scheme of things, it's the easy way out. Just read this book, go listen to some guru, life coach, and you can change your life. But that's just not how it works. Help, genuine help like therapy and counseling and financial fiduciary guidance, good ones, are hard
And
and they
expensive.
can be expensive.
Oh, I
But
did say
they are
that.
not
Okay.
more expensive than self-help. A monthly subsidized counseling session.
Jesus
at
Christ!
a
All these
local
self-help
counseling
seminars
center
and courses are
costs the same as
super
one of
expensive. You
Facebook's
know, like
monthly session
the
fees.
price
And
of
they won't
entry
even
is just
spam you to buy books.
it's just
They can take
mad.
weeks, months, even years to show results. But they work because they don't assume people as monoliths with cure-alls.
Therapy and
A
counseling
good
are just
therapist or psychologist,
once you
or
if
even
you
a
are able to
trained
find a
counselor
mental
will
health
find out
practitioner
about your background,
that fits
culture,
you,
family, stress level, trauma, and health before
just-
they even start
it just
planning a
fits, you
treatment
know.
tailored to you.
It,
They
it took
might
me
even
like
recommend
years to
changing
find
therapists
the right
if
fit,
they
but
think
when
they
it
are
did,
not
it is
fit. Are there bad
good.
ones? Sure, like in every other field. But the good ones, they can spend hundreds of hours of their careers treating singular clients because they know
I don't worry about my
problems that
internet
affect
because the
people
last
are
few days it
different for
hasn't been very
everyone.
stable.
That everyone have different lives, and then
Or the
not
stream
everyone will
doesn't
react
just
well
crash
to the
and
same
I'm
thing.
end up talking to
They
myself.
know everyone is different. That everyone in this society of 8 billion stupid apes is an individual, unique in experiences of pain and joy, successes and failures. And no one person or organization holds the answer to an entire field of questions. Here, we are all individuals. Every one of us. All our own.
And that's it for the very first video in my self-help series. Looking back on it, I still don't know what to feel about it. It definitely bit off more than I could chew at the time. I did end up getting better at it, so it did set off a lot of dominoes to this point though. I will never have expected like everything that happened to get it up to where we are today. It's just nuts. The entire experience was just nuts. Yeah. I wait if chat has stream chat see this. Oh, I don't think people should be allowed to see this. Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, that's it. I think that's all my thought on this first video. I'll have more when we get to the recent documentary video. 43 minutes. Been 44 minutes. Alright, let's get to the second video. How cults recruit. If you guys feel like my my recommended viewings here is a bit weird because like my YouTube channel, I have a personal YouTube channel, not channel, I have a personal YouTube account that I used to watch all my shows. This is like my YouTuber account and it's tied to my phone and I watch rubbish on it, just like general rubbish. Power Rangers behind the scene, lots of Kamen Rider and Power Rangers. I freaking love Power Rangers. And yeah, and to like test out my videos, so it's just gonna link back and forth, and of course project. All right, second video: how to catch 500 million. How cults recruit. How to catch $500 million fishes.
This video is an
one of my favorite comments that I got in this video was a guy who said that who said as a joke that they thought they were clicking into a fishing video to teach how to catch really rare and expensive fishes, and it turns out it was just a video about a cult. That's my favorite comment. I really love that joke. It's funny to nobody but me.
This video is an indirect sequel to my videos on incel and self-help.
Yep, indirect
you don't
sequel.
need to have watched those, but doing so will give you some extra context. You know, the self-help
I think in the
video is
future, like,
Singapore,
I'll have like
it
subtitles
can
so that I can do this without the
subjects.
background
So if you want
talking.
to watch from there,
The documentary has subtitles,
VPN.
which we'll be using later.
There's no sponsor, by the way. You just need a VPN. Look at
And one day
subscriber
people will
count.
sponsor
Who
me
wouldn't
and
want
I will
to
have
sponsor
money.
me?
And with
A
the money, I
rich
can
channel legend.
do
So
stuff.
there's really no sponsor, seriously.
I can
So,
whale.
to potential sponsors, I take bribes. Let's get started.
For legal
Both
reasons, I
subjects
do
on
not
my
actually
previous
take
videos,
bribes.
the
That was a
incel
joke.
community and the
Or is
self-help
it?
movement can be considered cults or cult-like entities. For simplicity throughout this video, I will forgo all nuances and consider the entire spectrum of these groups as cults. But don't misunderstand, there are nuances.
Yeah,
In
like
my video about the self-help movement, I looked
I
at
think there's like a
how these
level of
communities,
cultishness
maybe
that
how
you
they
can
function and how they skirt regulations to
compare
do
certain
what
organizations to.
and in my
Like
incel
the
video, I
military
talk about why
is
people
a
say
cult-like
in this
organization,
and how people lead.
but I wouldn't call
In
it a
this
cult.
video, I will
It's
talk
like
about how
I
people
think that
enter
I would put it
cults.
on like a
Basically,
scale.
how cults and cult-like
There's a
ideologies
skill called the
operate.
bite model,
And you might
and
be
there's
wondering,
this YouTuber called
isn't that chronology
Owen
easy
Morgan
to
who
do
used
videos
a
backwards? To
variation
which
of this
I
bite model,
reply,
which
shut
is
up.
something
There are
used to
generally
identify
two
what might
categories of
classify a
recruitment
cult,
methods,
and he
since
gives
there
it
are
a
no official
score,
terms for them, I will call
and
them
that
angling
score,
and crawling.
the higher it is, the
These
worse,
categories
the more
use names
cult-like it
because
is.
they remind us too
I
much of
tend to
fiction. In
use that
trawling,
as
the
well.
cult will
These are not like
generate pieces of
official
propaganda that can reach a wide audience, like a net
official
for a
models or
group of
anything, but
fishes. And if
it's
the
helpful for
victims, the
research.
fishers, are not careful,
How long
they
is the
will
video?
slip
20 minutes?
into
20
the
minutes,
net
that's
without
fine.
even knowing. Some of
Oh, I
these
didn't put
nets
these chapters
include
in.
self-help books, religious texts,
Trolling.
fake
It's
documentaries,
trolling.
manifestos,
These
or just random internet
these chapter
memes.
titles are put in by
Basically,
Google AI. I'm
anything
gonna have
that
to
can reach a
redo
wide
this.
audience with
It's
little
trolling.
fear of
TRAW.
quality or control.
Not trolling.
Cults choose which method they will use depending on the type of culture they want to foster.
AI.
Self-help gurus
smart.
likes books because it gives them an air of authentic professionalism. Documentaries are preferred by conspiracy
Did not
theorists
mention
who
Ming
make them
Kwang's
more
name
credible,
even
and
once
internet
in this
cults
entire
use
video
news for their
because
binge
of the
of
copyright
freedom.
strike. It's just like taking it
Jesus
it
Christ.
easy.
It's supposed to be cloudy, not
I thought it's funny though. It's like if you Google Hong Ming Kwang, the not banned videos are like in the first page search result of Google. So I hope that causes him a lot of trouble. As much trouble as possible, to be honest.
Thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even in the millions if you're lucky enough and has a distinct lack of apathy for your fellow human being. But if you want to target the billions, if you want
So for
to
non-Singaporeans,
target
the New Creation Church is basically a televangelical church. They preach the prosperity gospel in Singapore, and yeah, that's like in Hardware Zone on forums. Hardware Zone is basically Singapore's version of like 4chan. It's kind of like it's kind of seen as a cult. I have to say kind of. even
Dear
though
God,
maybe
you will
it
be
is.
blessed with wealth and prosperity in
Yeah,
return.
prosperity
The more money
counts
you
as
give,
it's
the
seen
better.
here.
And look at us. It obviously works because we can
They have like
afford
millions of
this
dollars,
beautiful
some
church.
ridiculous amount.
The NCC isn't even the only
This
one.
building
We have a squad
itself
that spent
cost
$500 million
hundreds of
to
millions to
invest things
build.
in Suntec. This
Invested
is
nearly $1
yacht.
billion
It's
into
a
it.
show. It's not any
The
better than
I've
a
been
boat
to
or Catholic churches,
the
but it's the show that you can
into it
afford
to
a yacht.
watch
The same way businessmen
Trevor
play
Noah
golf instead of
once.
street soccer.
Holy
It's
shit,
not
that
because they
that
don't like
the
street
theater
soccer, but
is
it's
huge,
because
and
it's a way
the
to
thing
show
that
you
it's
can
used by
afford
like a
to play
church.
golf. It's the show
I don't know what
that
kind of
this
church need
business
that
lets you
that large of
afford
a
to play golf.
a
The
place,
most
man.
United's cars are white because they don't really care about who they catch. They are going by numbers and the probability that when a large enough portion of the population is reached, there will always be that handful of poor sods that fall for their shtick. You can usually tell the difference between a net cast by a cult and an authentic piece of the media used by normal people by what they talk about. Nets will often use Barnum statements that
Barnum
are vague and
statements,
general and apply to a range of people just by probability.
simplistic
Like, clean
statements.
your room,
Majority people
improve
love
your
Barnum
state of
statements.
mind,
Like,
or if you picture yourself doing something, it will
I
happen.
shouldn't interrupt my
Things
past
that
self.
are no shit Sherlock by nature or by sheer probability
No
will
shit
happen
Sherlock.
once in a while for a
These
small
kind of statements are
population.
really
It's what they
obvious
will
when
call
you look at like the
manifestation,
wider
and it's
scamming
bullshit. I was
community.
thinking of an old friend
Things
the
like
other day when I ran into them on
people
the
who
streets.
claim to
I
be
didn't
able to do
manifest them.
tarot
They just
readings
live
or
nearby. And if I didn't run into them, it would have been a great deal, and I would have
astrology.
just forgotten
Yeah,
it.
astrology.
But for certain
They
people,
use Barnum
these
statements a
chance
lot.
events may seem like a sign.
I
Even
really
if
hope my
these
live chat
statements
isn't
only
dead.
happen to 1 in
In that sense
100
that
people,
it got
that's still
disconnected.
enough of a catch. Because what cults are
Can't see
going
any
for once
updates.
a fish
So
is
I'm just
caught
gonna
is quality,
assume
not
everybody is
quantity.
enjoying
They
the
can charge
stream,
hundreds,
enjoying my
if not
voice.
thousands of dollars for each interactions. If the reach of your net hits just 1,000 people, that's 10 people in your network. Easily over $1,000 will have just entered the cult's pocket.
Like I am
Trolling
updating.
narratives will also ask people
well.
to prove things that are difficult, if not impossible to prove. Have you ever seen the
Yeah,
round
Mike
of
Hughes
space?
is
Don't
a
ask, how do
flat
you prove
earther
it?
who
It
decided to
you will
try
likely
to
never have
prove
money
the
to see
earth
other
is either
people's
flat or
face.
round by
This
building his own
proof is
rocket
literally
to go up
scientifically
high enough
impossible.
into the atmosphere to
This
see the
method weeds out
curvature
people able to
or
think
lack of
critically,
curvature
and the
of
only
the
ones
earth.
left are those who want
And
to believe,
yeah,
or those who
it's
can't
quite
disprove
an
the
extreme
ideology
thing
themselves.
to
These
go
widespread
to.
propagandas uses
I've
false
not
promises
seen
to lure
any
in their victims.
beliefs
They target
on these
victims in undergoing
lines
certain
where
phases of their lives or events that are universal,
these groups that
meaning
can be
so long
considered
as the word
cults
of their movement continues to
end
spread, they
well
will
for a
always
lot of
gather a
people.
pool of recruit.
Mike
Because people will
Hughes,
always
his
experience
rocket,
life. It gives them a false appearance of longevity,
his
like they can
parachute
last forever,
malfunctioned
what they are
and
saying
launched
seem true
before
simply
his
by the
rocket
length
reached
of
the
time of their existence.
height
In
it
truth, they are
needs,
simply running
and
through the
he
same type
crashed to
of
his
victims
death.
in each
It's really
generation
sad
of the people.
thing.
They will tout prominent members to give
These
themselves
groups, they
legitimacy, like
really
a
push
famous
people
actor or a member of
into a
parliament.
belief
But if you
that
look closely,
allow
these
them to take
people
the
often
act.
come from similar backgrounds to a
Harry Tan, my first
disproportionate
mention of
percentage
our
the
dear
population.
member
That's
of
because they
parliament
target the
and
innate need to
transformation
find our own
coach.
community, and thus end up with people who were already like
She's
the
been
same
criticized
and considering how
in
smart and
certain
attractive my audiences
media
are, you will
about
realize this manipulation is
charging
socially
$500+
encouraged.
for
Now
her
let's talk about
coaching
angling.
services.
Angling, as its name suggests, is when the cult
You know,
decides to
I can't say it's right or wrong.
through
It's, you know,
one-on-one means
touch wood.
or in small groups. Like
My
Active
friends-
Angling Day
My friends and I have a running bet
bait,
on how long it'll
either by
take for them
attaching
to
a
sue me.
rod on a hook or scattering them in the water to lure fishes. The scatter technique would be to host meet-up groups, social or otherwise. Cell groups, religious gatherings, and self-help seminars are prime examples.
This
For
is
example, the
personal
main subject of my
experience.
previous video hosts seminars and community events. Hosting these gatherings allows them to directly gauge the possibility that a person would fall for their messaging. Unlike trolling, they are going for a small but intimate solution that often relies on manipulating direct trust. Once they identified potential victims, they either
Yeah, so this person here, this is the recruiter that tried to recruit me and my friend. Yeah.
engage themselves
So,
or send
that's
their
my
followers
previous
in
tie-in.
and directly reel these victims in. They meet up, form bonds, and try to engage personally to draw their targets into the movement. Televangelists are known to procure participants' information beforehand so that they can do hot readings and seem more personal when the time comes. The most famous of these cases being Peter Popoff, who was exposed by the late James Randi in 1981. The bait and hook method,
R.I.P.
however,
James
requires
Randi,
the recruiter to
seriously.
go out
And
seek
his
their
death
victims
really
individually.
rocked me.
They can do this by going to public meetups and social groups, targeting people by their needs, usually at vulnerable points in their
The
lives.
cult
Have you
recruiter
met a
that
really
tried to
pushy
recruit
person
me
who just wants
came
you
to a
chuck
board
credit
game
to for
meetup
bettering
that I
themselves?
was
That's
helping
pretty
at
much it. For
and
example,
tried
I
to
have
recruit
independently
people
confirmed that
there.
the subject on my previous video has
Really,
people undergoing career transitions,
really
people
scummy,
with
to be
mental
honest.
illnesses,
like
and undergoing
very
mental
predatory
treatment. They offer solutions
behavior.
for seemingly impossible things when they are just events that are not entirely in your control. It preys on people's desperation to be rid of suffering and life problems. If the problem resolved itself, the cult would have then gained a follower who believe.
If anyone has like any
If it
questions,
doesn't
right, feel
resolve,
free to
the
leave it
cult
in
will
the
continue to milk the
chat,
victim until they are
and
worth,
if I don't see it, I'll
continuously
get
dangling
to
the
it
bait
like
of
at
hope in
the
front of their eyes.
end of the
Just
video,
follow the message
just to
from
answer
this book
everyone.
and everything will be fine. Come to one more seminar and all will be revealed. They will
Yeah,
not
the
tell
monologue.
you how their $1,000 seminars
No,
is
this
not
the
normal
monologue
or
is still
cost.
quite far apart.
Unlike this equivalent talk hosted by friend of the channel and therapist Fiang Liu that was made entirely free for returning clients. And while genuine therapists will tell you that the methods they teach are helpful but not all-encompassing, cults will
Not
tout their
all
wisdom
therapy
as the
method works
solution
for
to
everyone.
everything. If
The
the
trial and
leader takes
error.
part in the angling process, they will push you to meet and become personally acquainted, creating a bond that will lead you into a cult of personality, where the leader isn't just some faceless dictator, but your friend, your pal. We've had lunch before.
Speaking with a lot of the
However, this is
victims, one of the
high-risk,
things that
high-reward
got to me
situation.
was like
Because the cult must
how
put themselves in direct
friendly
contact
Ming
for angling to
Huang,
work.
not friendly, more
It
like
can be difficult
how
to distance
much
themselves from any
niceness
act
he
of
can
wrongdoings if they are exposed.
give
Like
to
accidentally targeting
his
an insane
followers,
video essayist
like a
on
love
Flick
bombing.
mental health
So
advocate,
for people who don't know
then
what
this
love
video
bombing is,
essayist
love
will
bombing is
go on to
basically
produce deep dive videos
giving
with testimony that debunks
giving
the
your
entire personal
followers,
franchise
victims,
video
whatever you want to
for
call
a
them,
jackass.
as
Now,
much
let's talk about how cults stay out of
praise
trouble.
as they
Because no
need
matter
to
how
feel
skillfully
good.
they perform their activities, they eventually
And
will mess up.
everyone
Will
likes
spread, and
praise.
negative perceptions of them
But
will
eventually,
form, and
like,
actions cause further harm.
you
So
give
these
enough
movements
praise,
will
then you
need
hurt them,
tactics to
and then you
evade
like
harm
praise
and
them
delay
again.
damage.
So
For decentralized
you
movements
keep
like
going back to
themselves,
them
like
for the
cultists and
love, even though it
neo-Nazis, the
hurts.
fact that they don't have a single point of failure makes them naturally resistant to outside influence, like limbs of a hydra. They will just cut off the arm that made the mistake.
So this part
Take the
about
January 6th
about cults
insurrection in
having
the US. After that,
being
everyone who was
decentralized,
caught was
it's
basically shunned by the larger movements.
now that
They were all
on look back, I
anti-free
think
PR
this
and
will
satanist
apply to
thugs.
organizations like
No
Disconnect as
real
well,
followers
but
of
in
the
a
movement
slightly
yet
different
belong.
way, in the
This
sense that even
avowedly
though they don't
common
have,
phrase
even though they
of
have
these
like
movements
a
use to distance
organizing
themselves from those
community
who
and
are
a
caught.
main
We
leader,
didn't do
quote
anything
unquote,
wrong like
they
those
aren't.
criminals. Unlike those that got arrested, we're law-abiding fascists.
What's the word?
For small groups like the subject on my
They
previous video,
they
stating the
aren't
positive
easy
is
to
far
pin
simpler.
down
While
because
trying to
their
grow your business,
organization,
checking your name just
their
enough that
groups
investigative outlets can
aren't
pick you up. And when you're ready to use your real brand, silence
regulated.
anyone who has any
So like
criticism about you with
the
lawsuits. These are
coaching
called
ICF,
SLAPs,
the coaching
or
federation,
intimidation lawsuits. As
completely
the
not
name suggests,
regulated by
the
any
suits are
government
just
body,
there to
so
scare
it
people.
has
It
this
can have zero
disorganized,
legal standing,
decentralized
and it doesn't
feel
matter, because
where
the
the
reason for
only
filing the
people
suit is
accountable to
consequence
them
like
is
this Reddit user
themselves.
who contacted me after the subject on my previous video filed a suit to have them take
Oh,
down their comments.
his lawsuit is funny. Can I go back up? He literally filed a POHA suit against Reddit.com. Like he sent a legal letter to Reddit.com. I've seen the legal. It is wild what this man thinks he can get away with, and I can't review too much about the legal letter, but holy shit, the things he wrote in there is I don't want to say crazy. It is just nuts. Like he thinks there's a conspiracy behind Reddit to do him in. It's so weird, this guy.
And despite how hilariously incompetent the suit was, even down to its name, and the fact that the multiple lawyers consulted by both me and the defendant stated that there is no legal standing for the claim, the subject's goal was achieved.
I think one of the lawyers said,
government
like,
took
is this a
documents
joke?
down, just so they won't have to deal with the legal legwork. because doing this through the books would incur expensive legal costs, and they would have to reveal their real names and information to a person looking to
Legal
dig them
stuff in
up.
Singapore is really
You might have
expensive, man.
noticed my
Just
last few
just
videos
asking
did
a
not
lawyer
do
to
so
do
well
mediation stuff is like
That's because my channel
20,000,
was
$30,000.
recovering from
Who the
a
hell is the
virus,
kind of money
one
to...
that I was unwilling to challenge despite being in the
If
right.
I
Because
wasn't
it meant having to give
a
the subject
nutcase
matter
myself,
advice.
I would
Courts
have
and leaders
I
of
would
this
never
sort
have
will often use legal
taken up
loopholes like
this
these
video
to
series.
scare their
I would have like
customers
quieted
silence.
myself down after
However,
the first
to help
copyright strike.
grow their movements bigger,
Thank
they will
goodness
no
I'm
longer be able to avoid
I'm
these
crazy.
legal battles. At that moment, they will prefer to have their own internal judiciary to clean up criticism in-house. A great example of this would be Jehovah's Witnesses, who hid nearly 2,000 child sexual abuse allegations from the authorities for decades by enforcing their own internal judiciary standard. Because if they're in control of their own laws, who's to stop them when they commit a crime? If they wanted to, they could make assault morally acceptable.
For those who are not in the know, Jehovah's Witness had a child abuse scandal years back. I think it's still ongoing. And what happened was their count, what was it? Their elders, which is like their governing body. That's what they're called. Basically internally
you might be wondering how people
handled it,
these things.
and
You've seen others do this before, and
yeah,
never
basically
them.
child
As
abusers
expected,
got
yes,
away
you are
with
all very handsome,
justice for a
beautiful,
long
smart.
time.
Well, that's because
I
you
need
don't
to
yet fulfill the
follow up on
conditions to
this
be
just to
recruited.
know what
Cults
happened
take advantage of
next.
people
I
at
don't
moments of
have
great
the
change, and
current
when you are in those moments, you become
stats,
susceptible.
current
Anyone
situation,
can fall
but
for it.
yeah,
Growing up, changing
bad.
jobs, mourning a loss.
I
All of
might
them
working.
perfect time for cults to wedge
this.
themselves into your life. These movements prey on humanity, our need to be loved, our want for stability, our yearning for knowledge. Their advice aren't special. They aren't even the only ones making them. If you follow similar advice from others not taking advantage of you, you will also reach the same results. You are always going to do something else after graduation. You are always going to move on from jobs as you grow. You are always going to stop grieving a loss. That's just how time works. But these charismatic
Again, I never know what to say in the streams for all the ending monologues. It's just
you can't help but think they were the cause of the great change. Even though you were always going to
I'm just
hear
gonna
on your
let
own.
pass me talk.
What are the odds that right at the moment you needed
Let's up
it
the
most,
audio
these random
for
people came
epicness.
along and offered you a solution? And because humans naturally trust each other, it's our nature to give them the benefit of the doubt. And it is the fisherman's game that while reeling in their catch, to never let us know we were caught on purpose, that we were actually targeted, and not by the will of gods or karma. It's our ability to recognize patterns backfiring against us. Now, our own natural capabilities to move forward in time is suddenly due to the power of these people. You couldn't have gotten the courage to leave your old job on your own. You needed their help. You couldn't have figured out your future by yourself. You needed their help. Your body's natural ability to heal itself or medicines beginning to work are now miracles they perform. A human's instinct to survive grief are now secret meditative teachings. And if your condition gets worse, you just didn't believe enough. Pray more, attend more sessions, buy more books. At least that's what these people will tell you. But whether they are true believers in their own fiction or just scam artists trying to claw their way into your life, always remember, they are like vampires. They live by feeding off you while telling you that you need them to survive the harsh world outside, when in reality it's the opposite. But like vampires, they cannot enter the home of your soul unless you let them. So grab a stake and cut your heart, because the thing that's in your chest that pumps you life, that is all yours and not a beat of theirs.
Ooh, was a hard finisher. Quite proud of that one. I don't know when this channel started becoming a epic monologue channel, but yeah, let's go. I'm not gonna watch the outro for this video because for those people who know what the outro is about, I can't watch it anymore without crying. So I'm just not going to. Even thinking about it is making me want to tear up. Let me check the stream. Oh Jesus, the chat is like ongoing, but then it's not updating on my phone. I'm so sorry guys. I didn't see the chat. I'm gonna it's gonna be weird. Don't wait for me to like drag this chat out. I just refresh this. Live chat, press button, live chat. Okay, reload it. Let's take a look. Live chat. To be loved. The video can be a bit louder. Oh, okay. Sorry. I will. Natural selection. If he is too stupid to understand what the Earth is not flat, he shouldn't try to build his own rocket. I can understand why people think that, but I also think that we kind of have to give them the benefit of the doubt about it. A lot of people like them, they get into their situations not really of their own free will. It's like just things happen in their life, bad things, and give them comfort. James Randy, best of the best, yes. I watch the Telltale guy sometimes. He's a good guy. He is, yep. Illuminubi, David Rodell looks cute. Yes, David Rodell looks cute. I know why. Is it just because it came out? Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna talk a bit about the bus company. So this is just gonna be a conversation between me and Illuminubi for a while. I'm a real shoe stan, okay? Yeah, everyone else is cool, but Real Shoe is my girl. I have maxed out all her up ties, fully leveled up. Alright. I love Project Moon, I love their games. And I'm just gonna stop there because if I start, I'm just gonna keep going. I can't wait. Is that Ishmael? It's crazy. Alright, no, not gonna talk about Project Moon. Jesus Christ. Can't. Alright, last video. It's an hour already. This video is the long boy, 43 minutes. This video has subtitles, so I can do it on mute and people can still see, hopefully. I'm gonna refresh the chat again. And no idea what I'm talking about. It's alright to me, it's fine. Sometimes we just talk about stuff. It's just for me. It's just for my personal joy and happiness. And in this case, it's me and Illuminubi's joy and happiness. Alright, last video. This is the one. 18,000 views in 10 days, guys. I am flawed. Some behind the scenes info. This video has given a lot of people, ex-victims, a lot of clarity, and I really hope so. But if I mute the video, it'll just be silence when I don't talk. You know what? You're right. I am a small talky boy, so let's give it a little bit of sound. To be loved, it's scammer gacha games you guys are talking about. It is a gacha game. I'm not going to promote gacha games. If you're not an adult, just don't play it, especially if you have a hard time with gambling. I don't spend much money. I only buy the season pass, but yeah. I will say that the company Project Moon is as good as it gets. In terms of like morality wise of a game company. So clearer. I have a clearer conscience playing it, but I will not like advertise. I don't think people should, if they, especially those with lacking self-control in gambling. Let's not talk about Olympus Company anymore. The stories are so good though. The writing is so good. Okay. I'm just gonna start. Otherwise, this is gonna be a thing.
Content warning. This video contains mentions of abuse and manipulations. I also have to request none of my viewers contact or harass any of the people mentioned in this video.
So if you guys realize the newer videos, my face is nicer looking. It's because I'm using a new edit.
Let's talk about a self-help group, life coach that I theoretically side with. Let's talk about Hun Ming Kwang. His auto-bio calls him a spiritual teacher.
Mila playing a gacha game about King of Fighters.
Life coach and community leader, which is just like perfect.
Don't get people to play Limbus, my man.
to
They have to come in willingly, and they need to know the risk.
Causes because fuck that shit. For example,
I had a lot of fun making all these like music intros for my videos. I really love the pacing of it. Some people complain that the music was too loud. That's why I subtitles my man.
I have independently
Oh Jesus, anyone is on the Limbus. It's not great.
Living with mental illnesses and undergoing cancer treatment. Like this Reddit user who contacted me after the subject of my previous
Quick
video felt
intro
so
to all the previous videos.
going to keep repeating this.
Music is by Netflix. They do a lot of like free music that they let people just use for free. They're really great.
So he's been looking for somebody who could save him instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them.
And that special effects pack was really worth it.
I want to ask some general questions first, right? So, how long were you in Disconnect or studying under Ming Kwang?
Roughly 4 months.
4 months. How long were you stuck within Disconnect with Ming Kwang?
It's roughly about
A year would be one of the longest that
So,
I've heard.
It's
Oh,
from the
a
point,
year and a
from
half
the moment that you
is the longest that I know of.
a
Of someone like
yeah.
being part of Ming Kwang and Disconnect.
6 months. Okay.
Hi, Eden. 6 months.
Roughly like 3 to 6 months is considered like early exit.
What was it about Ming Kwang that drew you to him in the first place? Is it like charisma?
Why he chose to name Disconnect like the big connect last time? Scare people. I think he chose Disconnect because it's harder to pin down. This is completely subjective opinion. I think he chooses the name of his stuff to make it very exclusive and difficult to like search. It's like he has this artistic duo thing called Honey and Lami where he like formed like a partnership with another guy named Queen that will appear later shortly in the video. It's also the name also sounds weird. Makes it hard to pin down the timeline and directions. I don't think he even knows that he's doing it. I think he just did it because like I feel.
And what about Disconnect? Do you
So Disconnect was very weird. You signed up as a volunteer and you had to pay as a volunteer.
Okay, so this payment as a volunteer thing, right, is a new thing that I found while working on this documentary. By the way, this documentary, I started working on this in February. That's like 7 months of my life spent on this. Just saying, it's a lot of work.
but the people who
Anyway, this volunteer agreement is so
So this is on top of the entrance fee.
weird because like
Let me talk about
it's how they make
so this volunteer
their volunteers pay
so because
extra
it's
for everybody
$600
every time.
logistics.
You have your initial $600 payment, and then you have your
You pay
I can't make. Yeah, this my brain processing it for real. Like you have to pay for the people that you could not manage to invite.
How many people will attend?
It's like
this?
forcing people
And
to
how many
pay
of them are
for
volunteers, how many of them
failure.
are just outsiders.
It's like it's a bit like MLM where if you want to keep your rank, you need to keep buying products even if you can't sell it.
15 to 30. The highest was 40 at one point. So how they get
According to this interview, the high was 40, but there were times. According to this interviewee, the highest is 60, 40 to 60.
people who never went to
Expected is 60, highest is like participation is like 40, but the numbers fluctuate. I think there was a point that was 80. Currently last
You
like
always
20.
pay the amount of people.
Thank you for sharing on this group. This is the community. Thank you. I don't think I am very brave, but thank you for thinking so.
TC is 60 people, and SF, the so-called private event, is, I believe, is 45. So no matter what, 50 times 60 and 50 times 45.
So like
Let's go back to
you have to imagine like these sessions like they happen like once, twice a month. And that amount of money is like just from the sessions alone, not counting the private classes, not counting the gifts, not counting everything else. This is just from the entry fee for a community event. And it used to be free. And then it's like slowly keep going up. It's now just nuts, man. The fact that volunteers have to pay up the difference. It, like, if one event a month, not including the private section, that's $60,000, $70,000 a year just from hosting these meetups. That's good money, man. I'm in the wrong field. If I wanted to make money. Could probably be a scammer. Could probably be a very good scammer. I was filming this interview after a sore throat, so that's why I look like I'm about to die.
Actually, physically.
Yes, physically. He will shout super loudly. It was like a very intimidating feeling. Like he will
Ruby Love, I want to ask, recently I just learned about this Atome thing. My aunt is like super into it. Everyone knows that shit is MLM or something. Atome, I've never heard of it. I don't dare to just say. Let me do a very quick Google. Let's just enjoy the video while I Google.
In public?
Yeah, in public.
Does he do a lot of his session in public?
Yes, okay, so the thing is we were supposed to do it in a private place. I even paid for it.
Oh, it looks
He said this place is not
looks super
good,
scammy, Atome.
another place can we do here and it's public. So from then on we kept going to that place, sometimes another place that's nearby.
What
Then
the
sometimes we
hell
go
is
home and
this?
there's people walking around and then he would say it's my fault because I'm attracting distractions.
It looks super sus to me. Maybe this Atome thing, it looks super sus.
Invited more embarrassment, but in private it elicited They
I hope that's not a
when we were working on something and he was upset.
that's not a rabbit hole that I have to go through.
Progress. I eventually
Anyway, back to the
left because
documentary.
it was too much to bear. I was
The claims of abuse. There are other claims of abuse that I couldn't. I can't share with you guys. Not in the documentary here, but it gets bad. It's just
he will push me onto the road or
these threats really scare the victims to the point where they don't dare to speak up.
Out of the norm things recall.
I think
Yeah.
I remember, right, that
Not
this
cool,
physical
bruh.
class, physical class I did, right? And then he asked everybody to breathe, keep breathing. So I think like you were hyperventilate. What happened was that we all like were moving uncontrollably.
So he forced you to hyperventilate
He asked you to breathe, keep breathing, breathe, and then
fast.
Double check the chat just to make sure it's still live.
until you hyperventilate.
Live, okay.
And then so I remember for me, my body was moving.
This hyperventilation thing was also a new information I got only from interviewing the advanced victims. Is
It was just a very
yeah, if you hyperventilate, it can cause vasospasms. And from it can cause like lack of oxygen in the brain and stuff, makes you hallucinate and shit.
So the
Nuts.
whole room is just these noises of people speaking, crying, grunting. Like my body, like I couldn't move my body at all. But I had experienced this before when I hyperventilated. So I recognize it as hyperventilation.
And Tubular.
During that time, how much money
man.
did you spend on them?
In total, I would say
Ah.
around
This Atome thing that Tubi's talking about in the chat,
4 months time.
yes.
I'm gonna have to. I think I'll have to look into it. Oh Jesus, I really don't want to.
I paid for 2 workshops that cost.
If you guys noticed that one of the victims didn't give out how much money they lost.
It was probably more of a questionable.
They were just worried that
so I felt pressured to sign up.
that
I will
Ming
also
Kuang would
pay
be able
for
to
his
identify
videos
them
and
through the
shares
amount of
of
money
crystals that
spent.
you all
So
wanted.
yeah, just respect
He let me
their
transfer another
respect their
person's money,
anonymity as much as I can.
probably in the range of 3K plus.
From what I understand, all these numbers, right? Multiple people have
He
paid
would stand at the
this
counter
level
and
of
wait until I
cost
paid to
at
walk out.
multiple levels.
He usually did
It's
not
not a one-time
explicitly
thing.
ask me
Other
to do
people
it,
have
but I
paid
felt socially
$1 million,
pressured.
$100,000, $50,000, all these
There were a few
numbers,
times
this
I asked if he
$30,000,
would pay.
$5,000.
He will
It's
ask me
not
to
a
pay instead. And I said, okay.
not a normal. It's quite a normal thing.
Hi,
Yes.
Miss Tan. My name is Aiden.
Miss Tan, Miss Carrie Tan,
I'm
MP
thinking
of
taking a
Muslim
look at a
GRC,
self-help group and
I-
life coaching as a whole in
secondary
Singapore.
character in this
Given your
documentary.
background, I am wondering if I can ask you some
Yeah,
questions
the background
about the
is-
subject from your position as
Yeah,
a member
I don't
of
like that.
parliament. Thank you for your time. I hope
I don't like
you
that
feel
she's an MP. It's just
Sincerely, Aiden.
it really bugs me.
Hello, Miss Tan. Regarding my previous email, I am still hoping to hear a reply from you. I also have questions regarding your relationship with an
I sent
individual by the name of
multiple
Wang Yao,
emails.
and
Nothing
how much
really
help you might
came
have
out about
provided
it.
in his endeavor as stated in a past interview you gave in the Southeast Asia globe.
I sincerely hope to hear a reply from you, as the documentary will be made regardless, and more information will be helpful in clearing up any potential misunderstandings. Sincerely, Aiden Ng. Hello, Ms. Tan. I am forwarding a series of email I sent to your official PAP email in hopes for a reply.
I'm gonna
In
mute the
case
next
this
segment
is
because
your
I'm
main
afraid my
email of
blow
choice,
people's eardrums
thank
out
you
as
for
I
your time.
read all the emails.
Sincerely, Aiden Ng.
The sound is fine in the main video, but for stream, I think it'll be really weird. But basically, I'm reading all the emails I sent. I sent so many emails, tried to reach out to so many people. A couple of people are like, I don't want to talk about this. Just don't. It's very disappointing to know the amount of people who do not reply to such a serious inquiry. Maybe it's just my profile picture, that stupid green profile picture I use, but I really don't think that should matter. When inquiry line at least is very serious. To be I think most probably is her minions taking care of her email and they don't know what to do. It's possible that it's just like she hired assistants and stuff, Carrie Tan. But it's not just her, it's like all the other people. Like I reach out to so many MPs, so many people, and it just doesn't really scan that all of them don't know what to do. James Lim and Patrick Tay was the only two who replied. They were really helpful, so I can't really blame like party. One is voter party, one's PAP. So it's definitely not a party line thing. It's just a situational thing.
There are of course artistic exceptions, and I've tried.
Looking back on this, like I spent months trying to figure out what
I realized I can't give you the
what angle I wanted to go for the story, how I wanted it to, how I wanted to tell the story. Like, do I just want to going guns blazing and just whack and debunk and tear down Ming Kwang? But
so one more time.
I decided to focus on the victims. I think it's more important to give them a voice than to amplify the perpetrator. Better that they have a chance to speak in a place where they have very little chance to speak. Jamus is solid guy. I'm very respect. Yeah, Jamus Lim, pretty good MP. I'm decently impressed by the things he say. But still, politicians are politicians. Politicians are gonna politics. Politicians aren't your friend. You have to remember that. But yeah, his policies are pretty good. I like it.
Substantiated mindset that these accusations doesn't even have to be false. Truth is therefore suable here.
Proof is suable here. There are reporters, other people looking into similar stories that don't dare to publish and share because they are afraid of legal repercussions.
This culture is so screwed up that I can't even legally say that Ming Kwang stole from.
I used to think that the culture is fine, like it's a youngling. But as I grew older and like I get more and more into the industry, it got very hard to defend like this overreach of legal firewall.
Allowing me to turn this video into an investigative journalistic piece instead, giving me that much more foundation and wiggle room to
again, the victims who came out for this is just brave beyond all belief. I cannot thank them enough for standing up, for telling their story. There was so much things that could have gone like that they have to face, like shame from people who just think that they are idiots when they're not. They're all really like clear on their speaking. It's just like they were just in a bad place and got taken advantage of, and really the fact that anti-scam culture nowadays is like focusing on don't fall victim to a scam instead of like don't be a scammer.
How? Why? What? And that's when it hit me. It
Typical
finally
for the
hits me how
journalism
so
in
hard
Singapore.
for
Everybody is scared to get into trouble
how
and just
hard
go with
are
the
you
flow.
going
Says
make
to be
things?
loved.
And I
Yeah,
understand
journalism
you
in
saw
Singapore
the
is
police report.
Yep.
I
How
feel
did
like
you respond?
I think
the
they
fear to get
are
in trouble.
aware
I'll talk about this more
but
like
they are also
the end of the video.
have their hands tied because
Journalism in
how,
Singapore as a whole.
how grey the law is. From my understanding, there are other victims who have already reported before me. And the
Even
investigator
if
officer
like,
never told me that
even if law
there are
enforcement got
laws
involved,
is
I
not the
don't
rules,
know what we can
indicating
charge someone like
that there are
Ming
more
Kwang with.
losses from other
Technically,
victims
did not break
who
any
went through
laws,
worse
which is
scenarios than
really
me.
fucking annoying.
I understand you filed a police report.
I didn't follow through because the officer in the end he
Investigations and stuff are also
to
stretched very thin. There's not enough like
someone else who filled in the police
It'll be
report
the
and
joke.
sent it to me, and
Joke.
it got delayed quite a
Talking
bit,
about the
but
journalism. You say it's a joke, but I don't. I have a whole rant for it.
So it's already a bit delayed from the. Okay.
There were no
A lot
from
of these
the
investigations,
there were
they're
many
so
reports
they're
that
stretched
happened
so
after me,
thin.
and
They don't have
before
enough
my
resources to follow up. They
What
don't
I
have enough
understand,
people. They don't
there
have
wasn't much
just
constructive or action taken.
The
you
next
need
thing I
to
did was
fund
try to
public
contact people
servant.
from Ming Kwang's past. This
Doctors
was
and
supposed
everything.
to be the hardest part, but
Maybe
thankfully
not
I was
cops.
approached by someone who was part of that past, who wanted to share their stories, saving me a lot of legwork. This whistleblower came from the same coaching schools that Ming Kwang did, the one which I found in my first video and only touched on briefly. And I will continue to only touch briefly because they have a lot of
Oh,
money
this
and a lot
whistleblower
of
saved me a
information.
lot of
My
work.
talk with
If
the
he
whistleblower
didn't
was
step
incredibly
forward,
illuminating. Our entire
they didn't
conversation
step
was
forward,
already
I
2
would
hours long, so I won't be able to show you everything in this video. But needless
this
to
video
say,
might
I confirmed many
might take
of the
months,
suspicions
man.
I had about the culture of disconnect. It turns
Might have
out
taken
a lot
months
of
more to
disconnect
finish.
tactics were
So
replicated
glad
in
they stepped
prior
forward
teaching
and like
organizations that Hun Ming Kwang was part of.
and told me their side as well.
Let me ask you more questions in such a short notice again.
No worries, happy to, man.
This
Okay, yeah.
contracting is
It's not really a contract. It's like it's a written agreement. I forgot what the 10 points was, and I want to go and dig if I have the form. But basically, it's like it's you sign it, and then it's an agreement to like behave well in the place.
We were doing
simple,
Discord interviews, so the
simple
audio was a
things,
bit
like,
shaky.
It's also very like self-improvement driven stuff.
okay. So Ming Kwang also make his people sign this. You are 100% responsible for your reality. Do your
As
work.
Exact same thing.
it's just a copy and paste.
Sexual integrity.
A lot of like these coaching users similar language because they all came from like the same place.
Exact same line.
So Ming, so this school that this whistleblower came from is
Exact same line.
it's also the same school that Ming Kwang came from, and Ming Kwang's teacher and from that school also teaches like hundreds, thousands of life coaches in Singapore. And I think they all use similar like
Copy and paste.
techniques and paper and wordings. I won't be surprised.
That one is
It's like a web, and it's completely understandable why the whistleblower is like going anonymous, because I would too if you are targeting the food basket of everybody involved in this industry. I would say industry with
the honest truth is
big
that
air
it's very
quotes.
standard like class and like when you're teaching and when you're in like any form of L&D, right, it's very standard to use psychological contracts to establish some form of relationship.
Yeah, it's like even like
Personally, I
teachers
also
do it
do
like,
that.
oh,
Don't even
kids
talk
don't
professionally. Like, we run Dungeons and Dragons,
don't talk
right?
in class,
Extra
that kind of
is,
things.
like role play to your best ability,
You don't think about it much,
things that
but
are very
it's like a
neutral.
social
It's like, hey,
social
this is the
societal
level, this is
cultural contract.
that we are all
But
let's have a
you
base
can
where it's safe for
manipulate it.
everyone.
You
It's
can
more
use
like
it to your advantage. I would say advantage, but it's not really to
Correct,
other
it's
people's
one more
disadvantage.
layer,
And
then he
change the
do- this is
social
what the
contract.
next, cult leader
It's like
said,
how
a lot of truth and a lot of things that
certain
sounds
people will do
correct.
things differently
Then he
when in the
also, like,
group
shit, like,
than when they
he
are
respects
alone.
Ming Kwang as a lot and say,
Basically the same thing.
talk a lot about a community manager. Can you elaborate on what the community manager is?
by means of community manager, her name is Chu.
Chu is
Originally, what I was to
Chu. When they tried to recruit me, right, Chu was one of the recruiters that I had a really bad experience with. So I didn't talk about true stories or like came up to try to recruit me, to hard sell me, and
Can you tell me how you
completely
in the first place?
tried to power pose herself into a sales position, and like the things he said, he triggered my panic attack and refused to back off, even though I verbally told her that I'm having a panic attack, I would like you to back off. Yeah, she's not a great person in my mind. Legally, I can say yes, it's my opinion that she is not a good person. Chill is currently trying to do her own disconnect group, basically like another community group style. She's doing last I checked, like some
Join the classes or go to Soulfield or
the
further
tea tasting something pottery, I can't remember, but event stuff that is like that's basically very disconnect-esque. To be loved. I remember very last time in secondary school, the HOD, head of department, come and sit in, and prior to that, the teacher will get along with us. If I ask question, you all raise your hand. Yeah, basically, it's basically what they do, like make a social contract. Like, hey, you help me, I help you, that kind of thing. Yeah, social contract is basically like that. It's very close to that. Just like a cultural rule. You follow the rule and everything will be cool. So if you set a rule that greatly benefits you in a community of people, people will follow it even at their own disadvantage, just because they want to. Well, we as humans naturally will just follow the crowd. There's nothing you can do about that. That's just human nature. They're just taking advantage of human nature to do their stuff. I feel like I want to raise my hand and whistleblow and to the HOD. Our teacher is trying to get on us. Don't snitch. Don't bow down. Snitching is bad. Snitches get stitches. This is not a threat. It is a threat. Maybe it's a threat.
It's not just him. I think it's also because of all the other
friends, people that you know can really change your perception of the situation you're in.
She tells me a lot about how terrible she was in the past, and how much she has changed, and how grateful she is for this experience. Because I think my friend kind of preempted through about my life situation. I was going through some hard times.
A lot of the victims were recruited in very bad times of their life. So going through like mental health situation, job change, financial difficulties, like times when you are really vulnerable, very susceptible to psychological manipulation. That's basically when they strike. Even the recruiters, like for all the damage they've done, I cannot fully like say they're not victims as well. From what I understand, Chiu was recruited when she was having a hard time, and it helped her enough that she wanted to do it to others. One of the things that I didn't like put in the video was like, I question how much people like Hun Min Kwang and Chiu believe in their own teachings. Like, are they true believers? I can't really put honestly, I can't really put a proper percentage to that, but I think sometimes they know. Sometimes they know.
In hindsight, do you think he was?
When talking with the victims, they also have that same feeling. Like sometimes, yes, sometimes they are true believers, or maybe they are always true believers, but then sometimes they know that it's not real.
I wanted to give this a try. What I didn't expect was all the emotional manipulation, the extortion, and
all the manipulation abuse. I think the death threats is the threaten to push people off building into roads. That's I think that's the closest thing to a crime.
Hundred thousands of amount, but to a point where I have to ask
Oh shit. I'm sorry, I accidentally deleted one of your message. I didn't mean to. I just pressing the buttons. I pressed the wrong button. I was like trying to read your latest chat message and I accidentally pressed delete. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I don't believe they. Don't believe they believe their own shit. Oh, it's very hard to say. There are some people who do. Like, if you fake it long enough, right, you might actually end up thinking it's real. That way for me to undelete the message. I feel really bad about this. I hope like it didn't like time you out or anything.
How are you doing? And then they'll share a story.
If it did time you out, just know it's not on purpose. I'm just very incompetent at my job.
Yeah, so I would, because I thought I was doing the right thing, I would go in and I would.
Yeah, like it's
share, so I'll be like, yeah.
like at the time of like this whistleblower W, right, when they were in this like life coaching industry, right, they believed they were doing the right thing. They truly believed it. It was only until like shit got real that they started walking away. Okay, to be good. Good. Okay, can. Good to be. I'm so glad I didn't accidentally block you.
We've already covered the problem with the
I think I accidentally deleted one of your chats.
Oversight in my previous video.
But yeah, you said like you don't believe they believe. I think some of them can believe. I think some of them believe long enough until they see the harm, like the whistleblower, and they walk out. But some of them at that point, right, they have to reconcile. They have to think, do they believe? Even and if they believe,
and if you know anything about medicine,
even if they believe,
therapists, counselors,
will they want to continue? Like it's their breadbasket. It's the food they have.
People and specialists, including one of the psychologists I spoke to, fighting and advocating for regulations.
This was something that blew my mind. That psychologists, therapists, and counselors aren't regulated by law. They are legally defined, but they're not regulated by law. This blew my mind. I think I'll make a future video on this. The fact that they're not regulated by law. Wow, there's so much bad things that can happen.
Aside from a couple of stragglers from other parts of society, I mainly reached out to the people he interviewed for his books. A portion of the people he interviewed were just normal people, non-public figures. I decided not to drag them into this and just focus on public.
Yeah, Ho Min Kwang, I don't think he believes. I think he puts up a very good ad. It's a bit too much. This is my opinion. Of course, legally, it's my opinion. Yeah. It's just, man, rough. Really rough. I know at least some of his followers must believe.
They told me they did not know of Min Kwang before the book, nor did they remain in close contact afterwards. From what I can tell, Min Kwang simply co-messaged them. He used their names.
I don't know if any of you read his books. I would say no, don't do it, even if you want to. It's a terrible experience. I feel very bad about a lot of the people that he interviewed because I'm pretty sure a majority of them don't know what he's about. They don't have any connection to Carrie Tan, don't have any connection to any of his followers, and they were just like approached. Like these, like for these four people and at least a couple others that I think they were just like they thought this was like a good thing that they could do to help the mental health community, and their names were just used as bait. And I don't know, man. If Min Kwang had contacted me at the time when he was writing the book, and I didn't do my research on him, right, my name might be in that book. And holy shit, just thinking about that possibility just pisses me off to no end. This is like such an important topic. So many people's lives are affected. So many people's health are affected.
The mistake is I said I contacted 6 others when actually I can only confidently say
no cool, bruh.
5.
I gotta pause and check the chat. It is still alive.
Ones that you see on screen right now. The other 2 members of parliament who participated in the books were MP Tin Pei Ling, who I straight up forgot to contact because
I'm a complete idiot in this. Like, I have a list of all the people I wanted to contact, and I straight up didn't contact her.
Mr. Chan instead of Mr.
I'm so
Xiao
stupid.
email to him. So I can't confidently say that that email reached him. That's on me, and I can't stress enough how unqualified I am to do any of this. I'm not a trained journalist. It really should.
These are really
but
big
but
names in
somehow
our
it is.
politics, man.
That's the whole point of this video, I guess. Anyway,
I'm surprised Shanmugam isn't on this list, to be honest.
That's it.
I do not
You might
enjoy
think,
Shanmugam as a
"Man,
person.
why can't you just give them the benefit of the doubt? They are, after all, powerful and busy individuals. They might not have the time or bandwidth to reply to every single email from randos on the internet. There are two problems with that train of thought. From the 4 that replied, I know that Ming Kwang used.
I'm being very
If I assume with the greatest of
lenient
that he
in this segment.
co-messaged
It's like,
everyone, why did they answer?
I could have gone
yes,
harder.
random
I
co-message
just
and not
don't want to
mine?
get
The
legally
second problem
trouble, but yeah, I could have
is
gone hard on
because
this.
Member of Parliament of Nee-Soon GRC, Carrie Tan Hui Min. She has openly said in an interview in 2022 that Hun Ming Kwang is a hero.
I'm not gonna say anything about Tin
Tin
Pei Ling because I didn't contact her. I just
which she did end up in.
I have my own personal opinion, but I'm trying to keep this objectively to the documentary.
Unequivocally has a severe conflict of interest in this story. Given the incredible seats of power and influence that some of
I'm
these
not wrong,
interviewees
Tin Pei
hold,
Ling
if they do not
might have
reply
been my
to
MP at one
message
point.
through
Oh
official
well.
channels, I can only assume they were contacted through other means, like through the mutual contact of a certain member of parliament.
Yeah, this is the this is the part that would have been the most damaging. Like, oh, if Carrie Tan actually did more than just like did anything for Ming Kwang on his behalf, right?
Small batch of incredibly powerful people in positions of high influence.
I don't even know if it's like corruption or not. I can't really say it's corruption or not.
They put out on this topic, and
I just know it's not a good look.
As a reliable source, I cannot tell.
This is a very Singapore video. Most of my videos aren't very Singapore centric. I rarely do Singapore centric video. Not because I don't want to. It's just it's very hard to dig for information in this country.
Losing trust in the community, and you might think I'm overreacting, but working on all my videos for this channel, I have reached out to many people for information or interview.
Yes, I reached out to so many people for information or interview. Like, while working on this documentary, I've actually reached out to 3 other people for future videos, and they all replied to me. This is a rare thing, you know, like not getting any replies like this. It's just, it's so weird. I cannot stress how not normal this situation is.
People like me have a social obligation to use our platforms when available to stand up for the causes we advocate for, especially when it's tough. Sorry for the impromptu setup and possibly terrible audio quality, but this is the second to the last day I'll be editing my video.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much of this I'll be able to include in.
GG on Ang Mo Kio.
CNA Talking Point do a piece on.
So if anybody watched the CNA Talking Point video, right, there is one segment that really jumped out to me. Other than the interviewing, so all the coaches, they interviewed like 2 coaches and 2 coach-related individual. One of them is Quinn Lam, who is like Hun Ming Kwang's art partner. So it's like a very one-sided documentary, in my opinion. Like, they only have one victim on. Not a great look. But I also understand Quinn Lam is. Yeah, that's Quinn Lam on the left. Yeah. And if you watch the talking points from CNA, Sylvia did a live coaching session with the journalist, and they did something called Little Lab. I don't want to talk about it. Let's just talk about Little. Let's just talk about Sylvia. So Sylvia did a live coach session where she basically did trauma therapy, which is super dangerous, done by someone untrained. Like, you are going into things that can give people panic attacks, that can trigger mental meltdowns, and you're doing it with like 0 years of
I've seen shit that
of like counseling therapy or psychology training, right? It's super shady, man. Super sus.
either Lethal
Uh,
Labs or Dan.
The fact that the interviewer broke down in that session, it could have gone so much worse, especially if she had like
no
worse
there.
neurodivergent issues. Just
Do you have anything to say for the people who are still in it?
Take a step back from whatever it is you're doing. Okay, like right now you are so immersed in it.
every one of the victims had a really good answer to what they want to say, but I had to cut it down for time. I think this victim's advice spoke for everybody. Very good way. Everyone else, similar sentiments.
Don't get so immersed in it until you can't see everything else. Because that's what happened to me. I was so immersed. I felt like I am the problem, I need to work harder, I need to trust the process more, take a step back and reflect on everything as a whole. So you can see the bigger picture and not just be in this bubble where you're just doing whatever he says, trusting the process. When I hate that.
Check still alive.
How are you now?
Financial wise, definitely I'm trying to recuperate. I'm trying to like,
Some of the victims I talked to, their finances,
loans and stuff like that.
it's down, man.
Whatever that I've lost.
Bankruptcy, near bankruptcy, some bankruptcy. That's some of them just they owe thousands of dollars. The amount of damage this one group and one person have done.
These exposés themselves. Journalists,
Jesus, man.
member of parliament, someone in the public sector should be doing it, not the victims, and definitely not me.
I think it's a downright shame on Singapore's like journalism and news outlets that I broke this story. Like that I was the first public person to dig into this story publicly with my video, the Forever Dangers of Self-Help, this one all the way back. It really shouldn't have been me. Because from what I understand, this story has been ongoing, and the first drop of noise for Hun Min Kwang Disconnect started all the way back in 2020. Any time between then and now, somebody could have picked this story, and the fact that it was me in 2023, it is it's an absolute shame. Just shame on our ability of reporting.
The number of times in this past year where I have heard official institutions and entities tell victims to be careful of defaming the abuser filled me with an unspeakable.
There was a few months period where while making this video, right, I was afraid of making this. I was like truly terrified, and I didn't want to go out without some like support like from other news outlet. But I just couldn't like morally justify it as the time went on. And all these victims, they're like, they're going through, they're trying to fight fight for their own justice, fight for their own rights in such a damaging situation, and nobody else can easily step up or properly step up, tell them what to do, and I couldn't justify like my fear over their well-being, because it's part of the channel, man. I'm a moralist. I do things by what I think is right. I'm not saying I'm always right or I am right, but what I feel is right and I act on it. I will never be able to live this down. If I never made this video, I don't think I will be able to sleep at night.
We have created a culture that lets groups like Disconnect and people like Hun Min Kwang thrive. An entire country of people scared and terrified of doing and standing up for the right thing. A system that has punted the responsibility of mental health to an unregulated community instead of treating it like the medical epidemic it is. Public officials more likely to worry about their persona than the personas under their government.
I'm super proud of that line.
Us.
That's one of the best pieces of writing I did this year.
Scam awareness as some sort of personal responsibility. Instead of putting regulations into laws that prevents this from happening, advocating for victims to have more agency, or at least make prosecutions and
Honestly, like, we don't even need to change the law to make this legal. Just one step. Give the victims a way to
I know that there will be some people who will mention
go
how
about
dumb
this.
the other victims were to fall for
There's
this
no,
advice.
we don't know what to charge
People fully
them.
understand
We don't know
that
what to
none
charge the
of us will
perpetrators.
put
We don't know
forward the
if they
best
make, if
We
any laws were
accepted
broken.
this
It's insane that
our poor
such a thing
choices.
happened and there is
They shouldn't have
nothing
accepted
on the
this.
legal books
They didn't
that we
do
can
anything
do.
wrong.
And we
They
can't
were
do
just living
anything
their life.
until it goes
They
too
were
far.
targeted.
Like, recently there was a
Vulnerable
cult leader who got
someone
arrested for
they could
like
trust.
feeding
Someone who
feces to
abused
her
the
followers. I think that's
regulations
what it was.
with
Yeah.
other
That,
people's names.
if we wait until then,
Use
it's
that
too late.
to
It
abuse
shouldn't
followers,
even
take
get to that
advantage
point.
of them,
The fact that
have
there
them
is
hang
zero
ungodly
safety net
outcomes.
to stop us
It's
from
like we're
getting
telling
to
the
that
victims of
point
robbery that they
blows
shouldn't
my
be
mind.
robbers.
It's a
Instead of
failure of policy
Stop
making.
being robbers. Don't get scammed. It's the same level of advice as don't get robbed. If someone who can't properly defend themselves, someone vulnerable, gets robbed, like an old person or paraplegic, we don't tell them to just not
Well,
get
people,
robbed.
if you're ever my guest, you will
Someone who is
without
vulnerable
hesitation change your
with
mind
health
and admit it.
issues shouldn't be
I like to
blamed
think
for
so,
getting
because
psychologically robbed.
I'm wrong a lot.
At the time of filming this,
I
there's an
like being
active
right.
study
Like, I'll just be honest, being
Along
right is
dozens,
nice.
if not
So
hundreds of
I like,
people through their pipeline every year.
by virtue of that, I also like being wrong, because the moment I know I'm wrong,
They are
I
like
can
you.
immediately change my mind and I
They
can
are
immediately
normal
become right.
people,
So I
like
become
you,
happier.
like me.
I changed my mind a lot of
Anyone
times
can be
in my
wrong.
life.
The
I've
gurus
admitted a lot of
and
mistakes.
scammers and cult leaders,
I don't
they
purport to be
are
perfect,
the exception.
and
They are the ones that are breaking
I just hope I can
society.
keep getting better.
Right now.
And hopefully, like
structure and
this
system that we
this
have
video, at
for
least I
them
hope I did good. I hope I did.
is normal, and it
I
really
think I did good
should
enough to help people. So yeah. Yeah. At the time of editing, right, Hu Ming Kwang has sent out another more legal threats to his victims. I can't tell you what they are, but I know of them, and he has a lawyer. Doris Chiang, I think is her name. Can't remember. But I did contact her for comments. Nothing. Might be a last minute thing. Maybe they don't have enough time. I don't know. I feel like I've given them enough time, but maybe not. Yeah. I love doing music stuff. I love working with music. It's great. The timing just really makes me enjoy it. Everyone understand my friend Wakit. Thanks to Wakit. The hair clip from the first video. That's the Bulbous One EV from the second video. If you know, you know. Very sad. Thanks to my Patreon, it's possible. Hey, Patreon, thank you for the support. Couldn't do this without you guys. Thanks for watching. Video is licensed under Creative Commons. That means if you download this and share, I will not sue you. So yeah, feel free to download it with whatever software you want. Feel free to share it wherever you want. Thank you for watching the documentary, people. Go to the live stream. I can see the chat on the screen. And you guys can see the chat while looking at the chat, while looking at the live stream of me looking at the chat. Let's see how deep this goes. Yeah, so that's the end of the director's commentary. Yeah, I think I'll be doing one live stream a week for the next 2, maybe 3 more weeks. While I'm on my short hiatus break from this chat thing is actually going me off now. Okay, let's not Second. Okay. The points. Ignore the chat. It's throwing me. Okay. I'm going to ignore the video. What kind of live stream? I don't know. I did talk about like going through some more old videos, but seeing as you you're probably asking if I want to play Limbus Company. maybe I'll play some Limbus Company. I might look at some shorter videos for director's commentary, and then I'll go play a couple of minutes of Limbus. I don't know if I'm allowed to. Limbus is very violent. Is it allowed to go through YouTube? But yeah, live stream 2-3 weeks, and then I'll go back to my regularly scheduled monthly upload. I kind of need a break after this recent documentary. But to be honest, I'm kind of itchy even while on the break. I'm one of those people who can't really sit still without something to do. How are my Walpurgis pools? You got everything in 170 pools. Wow. That makes me not want to say, because I think it might make you feel bad. I got everything in 60 pools. So yeah. Please don't spend too much money on gachas, everybody. It's just a game. Spend what you're willing to lose. Take care of your finances. Especially if you're a kid. I don't think a kid will be watching this, but if you are a kid and if you are watching this, don't play gachas. Even if you're an adult, manage your gachas well. No, to be, it's not a pawn. It's just luck, and my luck in life is very bad. So I feel like having some of it in my gachas, it's decent. It's fine. I did like plan for it for a very long time. Saved up for 4 months. Oh, you saved up for 4 months. I've been saving since the start of the season for Walpurgis Pools. I have a record of having everything other than the voice lines. You've only spent for 2 battle passes and the $2. Yeah, same here. I only have 2 battle passes and $2 wings currency pack. I think it's enough to get you almost everything. This is just becoming a conversation between 2 Limbus Company players. Nobody else watching this video will be able to understand anything we've been saying. Honestly, people, Project Moon, the company behind Limbus Company, their stories are really, really good. If you can play their games, even not the non-gacha games. Lobotomy Corporation is their first game. Their second game is Library of Ruina. Their story is so good. 10 out of 10. Their web novel is good. Their web comic that we do not talk about is also good. How did I get into PM? How did I get into Project? PM is Project Moon, which is the company that makes the game. I got into it. My first game was Lobotomy Corporation. I got it on sale. I have not finished it. Not from a lack of trying. I have 200 hours into that game. I am not good enough to finish it. It is the only game I have ever played that I like and I cannot finish. I just can't. I went to look at cutscenes. It's my forever shame that I'm not good enough to finish Log 4. But I did finish the sequel. I finished Library of Ruina. I think it's just like that kind of RPG is like right up my alley. My ability to play RPGs is, I'm quite proud of it. But I could not finish Log 4. Illuminati Newbie. I beat Lobcore some 100 hours. Yeah, it's so hard. I don't know how you guys do it. I'm so bad at management game, but I love that story so much. Honestly, and so far their company culture is like pretty decent for a company. I mean, corporations aren't your friend, all that, but I think they're trying, and I'm gonna give them credit for that. I want more corporations to run like Project Moon, so I'm going to say yes to those corporations. Because, the CEO seems very personable to the employee, refused to expand the company just because they're having trouble remembering the number of people on their staff now, and they want to be able to remember everybody's name. That's incredibly respectable. And yeah, so company wise, it's as respectable as it gets. And if more companies were like that, capitalism might work. Yeah. The story is really good if anyone plays it. I'll admit I had to watch YouTube guide for some of the. Yeah, it's a really tough game. My first game was Limbus because I had some friends who wouldn't shut up in the weeks leading up to its release. I would probably be one of those people. It's so good. So ridiculously good. I cannot. To be love, I'm a grumpy old uncle, so I think all the new games are either shit or scam shit. Gosh, that's why I mostly play retro games on retro. I mean, I understand that, like, the viewpoint, because like I personally haven't touched a AAA game, a new AAA games in 5 years. The last AAA game I played was Dying Light. I have 2 AAA games in like my library waiting for me to play, but I have played like 60 indie games in the meantime, or like from smaller companies like Project Moon. And yeah, I'm a jaded gamer as well, but I go for quality. If that game is quality, that's where I am. I promise you, Project Moon's storytelling quality is 10 out of 10. It has my official Aiden seal of approval. It is good. Really, really good. Okay. I think it's about time I put an end to this. Illuminati, if you share this stream on the subreddit, I will hunt you down like an animal. Just kidding. I will probably stream at I will probably stream at 9 next week, and it will be a 1 hour stream instead of 2 hours. Today's a 2 hour stream, kind of a celebration. Again, 1,000 subscribers. I'm very, very thankful. That means my first video back, I will have to do something special. I have no idea what I'm going to do yet. I promised I'd eat a potato in my 100 sub stream. I don't know why I made that as a joke, but now I have to eat a potato, so I guess I have to go buy a potato now. 1,000 subs. Just wow. I had no idea how I was going to reach that for a while now. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to call it here. I ran out of water 1.5 hours ago, and my mouth is so dry. Thank you, everyone, for watching. You handsome, beautiful, smart people. Look forward to more stuff. I don't know if you will look forward to streams, but do look forward to stuff. I will decide what the stream will be when the stream comes. Maybe make a Limbus review and summon 100,000 unnamed ships. I'll be honest, I might actually make a review of Limbus Company. The game is so good. Even if it's not a review, I might want to talk about Project Moon. I actually talked about Project Moon a little bit in one of my previous video. I can't remember what, but yes. Yeah, so have fun, everybody. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys beware of scammers. I will see you all next time. Bye. End stream.